Okay, it's called a fucking Divi cover.
There we go.
Same fucking thing.
Oh, this is gonna be a great one. Welcome everyone. We're live now, right?
Yeah. We started
beautiful.
with "Somebody Kill Me," please.
Oh, this is a
You guys
win.
weren't
This
supposed to hear that.
this is an instant. Well, everybody did now. This is an instant win. Welcome everyone to episode 35 of No Books Given, right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel. Of course, the Horny Goat Podcasting Network, where you listen to us on all your favorite audio podcasting platforms. This is the show each and every single week where we discuss, as you can hear, just the most random, absurd things that we find entertaining. And apparently, Gina's I was gonna say, apparently Gina isn't having a good day, and JP wants to talk about a sleeping system. I am your MC. Connor, aka Mr. Marvel 613, here with the wonderful members of the Horny Goat crew. Of course, we have with us the power couple, JP and Heather. How you doing, fam?
Fucking tired.
We were supposed to be camping this weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that, and I'm just
Somebody
got my
in
mouth
this
shut.
house does not take kindly to sleeping in a tent.
But she'll stuff herself in our office closet there and lay down in the little makeshift bed I made up for her and lay down
I mean,
there.
it is what it is. I kind of suspected it was going to happen, and we only live a few miles away from where we were
Camping.
anyways.
Tenting.
Yeah.
I knew where your mind was going. I was there with you.
No. But we're doing well. Tired.
Well, you should really
kind of emotionally drained, but
if you're tired, you should really have some
just
sort of
gonna say-
system for sleeping.
I thought you were just gonna say I'm kind of emotional.
I am. I'm emotionally drained. Really seriously, I am. I could tell you offline. I'm not gonna do it here.
You okay there, Heather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heather's like, what the fuck is happening?
We've got the wonderful Gina with us this evening. How you doing, Gina?
Tough guys, my back hurts because I cleaned my closet out today, and
Is that what you were
fuck,
saying
I
in the
got some
beginning?
shit.
Fuck, I got some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you were singing that little tune before we got on live?
Yeah, my back is like majorly fucked. Like I might end up taking a gummy halfway through this because my back is like
Halfway.
super fucked up.
Yeah, do it now.
Well, I moved to like two giant 32-inch tube TVs and my son's
Ugh.
bed frame by myself, and I'm
That
not
was in
supposed
your
to do
closet?
That, so that yeah.
Well, she said it's a walk-in closet, so.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
okay.
huge walk-in closet.
I didn't listen to the first half.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either. I thought I'm thinking like a cartoon closet where just like there's no
It's
depth.
the
It just
infinite
keeps
black
going.
hole.
No,
It's an endless void.
no, it's a walk-in closet.
And of course, everyone's favorite bear from upstairs.
Coming out of the walk-in
Lit up
closet.
basement.
He's not my favorite.
Wow, this is such a great closet here.
Gina also
Great.
threw me out.
Well, college football started. So that put a
I
smile
actually
on
did.
my face.
I actually
Yeah,
did
that-
throw you out, basement. Sorry.
How dare you?
What?
What?
I had a giant stuffed teddy bear in my closet that I threw out. So sorry, I threw you out, basement.
No, a kid could have enjoyed that.
Actually, I didn't throw it out. I have it sitting aside for the epilepsy truck.
Did Gina just say she had a giant testicle?
She does.
I
It got
think that you
removed
were
at birth.
legitimately the only one that heard that out of that. I said teddy bear.
You started talking and then
Hmm?
You know, my
Yes.
my testicles are fairly even. One's a little bit lower.
Same with my boobs.
I think that's just people in general.
Yeah. Yeah, the right boob hangs just a little bit lower than that left.
Ah, it's my right testicle's a bit more hefty than my left.
I'm not
See?
even.
Righties.
Right, righties for life.
We're now talking about which ball has descended on basement and which tit is lower on Gina and Heather.
Join in.
This is where we have come to.
Is Heather? Is it your right boob too? That's just a little bit lower, or is it your left?
It's actually my left one that's a little bit lower, and my nipples are slightly cockeyed.
Oh,
No,
lefty.
My nipples are even. Like my nipples are even. They're good. They're perky, but that left one just has a little bit more weight to it.
So I think, hear me out. We've been friends, I think, for over 2 years now. So I think that this is just about the right point in time in which I can.
Tell us
So
about your
actually,
tell us
some
about your
of
ball
it is
sack.
longer than that.
Tell me
can hear
in
Gina scraping
extensive
her bowl.
details. Oh, that's what that was? God
I'm
damn.
hungry, goddammit.
I thought it was
You
whatever
hear a
was left in
spoon.
her.
I might try to set up a choke, and then all of a sudden you hear.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
I thought it was whatever was left in her closet trying to get out.
I was gonna say I ran into Basement's
I've actually been friends
relatives at
longer
the
than
museum
that.
today.
Oh yeah, what museum was this?
That was the Museum of Science in Boston. I work right down the street from the Museum of Science in Boston. It's like it's right on the outskirts of Boston. So I have a membership, and so every once in a while I'll just take the kids there.
You have a
And,
membership to the Museum of Science?
Yeah, listen, if I didn't work right down the street,
No,
I can go- I
I'm
can-
saying it like that's turning
thing?
me
Yeah,
on.
so he pays his admission basically for the whole year.
Turning
Yeah,
me
but-
on.
got some cool things there.
Yeah, all you need to turn on
Well,
Basement is
the
a
museum.
pass for the Science Museum.
I
Check out
almost
my
died in
card.
the Museum of Science.
What? I feel
Yeah,
like we need this story.
like there's this room that you can go into when I was like a younger kid, right? And it was like it's like a porta potty almost, but the wall closes in, and like it closes in, and the door's open so you can get out, right? But people
I
held
would
the
hope
door
so.
closed, and
Oh.
it's kept closing in because I was there with a bunch of fucking kids, and I was one of them, and we're all stupid as shit.
By any chance, was there a Catholic priest in there with you as well?
Right?
I said my fucking 7 Hail Marys or whatever the fuck it is. No, but it's not only that. I went to jump over the guard. They had like these stone guardrails, right? And it was like almost like an indoor bridge. And I went to jump over it, and I got on the top and looked down, and it was like a 14-foot fall to death. This was different times.
What bathroom were you
I don't
going
even know
to?
if this was the science museum at all anymore. To be honest, I think I was in, like Saw
Where the
3.
fuck were you? Like, what kind of science museums are in fucking Canada?
Well, they had one of those fucking things that you touch and your hair goes up.
We have one of those at our mall.
This was the past, okay?
I mean, his mother has one sitting in her living room.
Okay, this was
You,
from the past, long time ago.
I mean, listen, you guys come visit. We can obviously. I got. I make it sound like I have like the fucking greatest like club in Boston available. It's like, listen,
That's what he was talking about.
come hang out with me. I'll hook you up to the Museum of Science.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
listen, unless Bill Nye the Science Guy is there, I want no part of this.
He was in the dark room that kept closing.
Oh,
But-
that's why you got stuck in there. Like,
They were
So
cheering
much-
him on. Bill, Bill,
Yeah,
Bill,
Bill,
Bill, Bill.
Let me
So
show
my
you my bill
question
end.
is Bill Nye actually a real scientist?
He
Yeah.
is somewhat of a scientist. Yeah, but
Just because he went to MIT.
he walked through the doors and walked out. I'm also a scientist.
So am I.
Here, let me look it up right now. He is,
basement. Cooking meth does not qualify you as a scientist.
I can't cook
actually,
it, but I can do
technically
it.
does.
That would be a
Chemist.
chemist, which is a scientist. However, you
This
don't
is
have
the-
to be a chemist in order to make meth.
No, I mean a lot of
It's
fucking.
science.
I mean, it
Hillbillies.
helps a lot. You know, I learned this off of Breaking Bad.
Yes, you did.
So there you go. I'm trying to find out.
What kind of fun fact
he
do you
actually-
have about the
what-
Museum of Science?
Well, I have a bunch of fun facts. in the
No,
Museum
he's
of
trying
Science.
to answer JP's question.
Yeah, I want to see like what his actual. Like,
He's got
degree
like
is.
one doctorate, and that's like he's not on the same level of a lot of the other people. So it's kind of weird that he became.
which I figured.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, he's
He's
TV
popular because he does make a lot of the more complicated science
yeah. The thing is,
a
like
lot
when you
easier
look at
to
it,
understand.
you'd be better off listening to Dolph Lundgren than Bill.
Well, I
Nye.
mean, he related. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally
Well, Dolph
relaying.
Lundgren did go to the same school he did and is
He-
an actual
okay.
chemist.
So
Dolph
he's
Lundgren's
always
got a lot of.
he's
degrees.
always speaking on climate change and shit. Gina, I know.
Mhm.
But this
His
guy is
fingers.
telling people all he is a mechanical engineer, a science communicator,
What does that
and a
mean?
television presenter.
He can
He,
talk
in
about
no way,
science?
shape, or form, has any professional, profound insights on climate change.
He's got
all.
opinions.
I mean, he's a chemical engineer, which is
Chemical,
Anyway,
I'm
I'm
not
a
going-
chemical
nope,
engineer went to
not
go take
getting
a
there,
shit.
not-
So
Not going there.
He developed JP's
Not
sleeping
diving-
system.
I'm not diving into that.
The guy needs to shut the fuck up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Or does he?
I don't really care.
No,
about
he
him
needs to
that
shut the
much.
fuck up. That guy's
Yeah,
a fucking.
I'm more a fan of Stephen Hawking and Neil deGrasse Tyson than I am.
Stephen Hawking's the best because he can't talk.
Listen, Bill Nye the Science Guy is
Well, he can.
fucking amazing. You guys shut up.
I'm not
No,
saying I
Bill
hate
Nye-
him.
The science guy's a fucking douchebag.
I'm not saying I hate him. I'm just saying that I prefer listening to the other two.
Well, the only thing I have to say about him is he is 100%. He looks exactly like Spock.
He does.
He thinks he's Spock, but he's not.
I wonder if
Save
Spock
the
was
glasses on,
like,
motherfuckers.
who copied who? Whom?
Whom copied him?
Whom copied whom?
But
How you doing, Tex?
what's up, Tex? We got a lot of awesome people in the chat joining us live here. We've of course got Ghetto News. What's up, Alpha? Federico, Tim Jurgen, Huyen, Paul Arzola, Rue, Shinshu. Personally, like the one of Dick Rodeo. That's a fun name. And our good friend Tex. What's going on, everybody in chat? Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you guys haven't done so. Hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and hit that like button. So that way you guys let us know. Do you like these random wacky conversations that just spew off in other directions that we don't know what the
Which
fuck's
is
going to
like-
happen?
97% of our shows, pretty much.
It really is. And if you want to follow along in the discussions, make sure you check out all the different articles that are listed in the description here. But chances are we might veer off into different discussions. As we just talked about Bill Nye for fucking 10 minutes that we weren't really expecting.
All
to.
right,
Science
so-
guy.
I know this guy is doing like shows on fucking.
He was like instrumental in my growing up.
Well, that's
I was about to
what
say, I
mean.
think that's the reason why he's so
Basic
popular.
science.
But that's
Like I said, he was
that's
making
what
science easier to understand for a developing mind.
You remember?
exactly.
You remember the episode with Sheldon and Big Bang Theory with Bob Newhart, the science
Mhm.
guy?
Not Big
Yeah.
Bang Theory. Don't
That's all
talk to me
he
about Big Bang
is.
Theory.
That's all Bill Nye is. Because he knows how to mix chemicals doesn't make him a fucking
But
scientist.
you
Bazinga.
gotta think of it. But you got to think of it. What he was doing, JP. He like Heather said, he was molding young minds. So all,
And
so
all
was
of the
Aries
exper-
Spears.
all of the experiments that he ever did on TV, it wasn't like something that a fucking doctorate, triple time college graduate, whatever. That's not something that they would do. They were experiments that for like
Yeah.
small kids.
It was like Mr. Dress Up, the
But he
better
needs-
version of Mr. Rogers.
No, you shut your goddamn
My
Canadian
point
mouth hole.
is that is what he
I will
needs to
drive.
stick to.
He did kind
I-
of stick to it, and I guess
That's the
social
science,
media.
motherfucker.
Well, as soon as he got on social media and started like spouting things as facts and trying to like, it was a bit much. I guess
No.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The guy was spouting off about shit because he
I enjoyed him as a
knew how to
kid.
do fucking chemical experiments on fucking Bill Nye, the science guy.
I enjoyed him as a
Listen, can we
kid. Not as
backtrack?
big a fan of him as an adult.
And we're just going to backtrack for 1 second because Basement, if you ever put Mr. Rogers down again, I will drive to Canada. So fucking help me.
That
You
guy
mean
was
the sniper?
Hey, he was
You
a
want me
weird
to come?
guy. He's a
You
weird
want me to-
guy.
Don't take that as I just said it. You want me to come to Canada?
No, nobody
in
is
the
that
neighborhood.
good without being creepy secretly.
Why do you think I did? What do you want me to react to?
Wait, who are you referring to? Rogers?
Yeah, yeah.
You shut your goddamn glory hole. Mr. Rogers is a fucking saint. You shut up.
You shut your glory hole, Mr.
Well,
Rogers.
You know, he went home and like whipped himself.
Tell
I
it to the
mean,
5
probably
confirmed kills in
would.
Vietnam.
He didn't do that.
Yeah, but he was a soldier. He didn't have any fucking.
He's not. He was not a soldier.
I thought he. Not
Nope.
in Vietnam. Not in Vietnam. But I
No,
thought he
there's an
was.
urban legend.
before
Not-
that.
not
Oh, okay.
ever.
All right. Well, regardless, he was a goddamn saint. You
The
shut your
only
mouth.
war he was
Till I find the
waging
winky.
was the
Hold
war
on.
on kids' pants.
That was Mr. Dress Up. Like you hear the
Yeah,
name.
see,
Mr.
dress up, not dress down.
Listen. You hear the name Mr. Dress Up, and you just immediately think of like a fucking weirdo that's gonna
like the
fucking
best
play with
person
your
alive. They're both creepy.
Here-
That's not big real.
so here's a
kids.
here's a
They're
couple.
both creepy.
Now I'm just looking at random fun facts about like childhood heroes that were gonna burn to the fucking ground. Apparently, Mr. Rogers ran the show until 73, which is the last time an episode aired was on August 31st, 2001. I did not think it lasted that long.
Oh, yeah.
Also, he has a bachelor's and a master's in music. was
Who?
Red.
Who would I wear? Sorry, I blanked out.
Mr. Rogers.
I was writing in the chat. Mr. Rogers. I thought you were talking about Mr. Dressup.
No,
is...
Mr. Rogers is a goddamn saint. Mr. Dressup is
No,
a
he's
creepo.
not.
Mr. Dressup saved the world.
He died 2 years after he retired from the show, and then he apparently was red green colorblind,
Which means he could not be in the military.
Okay, so he wasn't in the
That
military.
makes
He's
sense.
still goddamn saint.
That makes sense. Registered Republican.
Sweetest man in the entire world.
Studied Catholic mysticism, Judaism, Buddhism, and other faiths and cultures. Here we go. 75 confirmed. I'm fucking kidding. No, I was just looking to see if there's anything else that was of interest with him. No, that's yeah. He was
Now
not.
let's
He was
look
not
up
in the
Mr.
military. He's
Dress
right.
Up.
No, I don't. I think he was involved in like some sort of
You can't be colorblind.
child
You can't
sex.
be colorblind and be-
Yes,
you
exactly.
All right, fuck it. Hold on.
can't be colorblind and be a sniper.
I hate you, basically. You're like, Mr. Dress Up was better, but yet he was involved in a child sex thing.
Here we go. Let's see.
It did say he liked tofu.
Oh, God.
I skimmed over it.
Tickle.
He
Oh, he-
literally
yeah, okay.
said, I
So,
like tofu burgers.
so Mr. Dressup had something called the tickle trunk. So, not good, not good.
I'm sorry. That ends it right there for me.
Ew.
No.
I don't know. Is he like brothers with like Pee Wee Herman or
Yeah,
something?
it's not good.
Like, I'm a tiny hole,
See, but
motherfucker.
you can't compare them because you know what? Pee Wee Herman just pleasured himself. He didn't
That's
pleasure
true.
children.
That's
Right,
true.
he didn't share his tickle
Oh.
trunk.
But like basement, like growing up in Canada, was Pee Wee Herman like a big thing up there?
Oh, it's
Because
big enough.
Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse was like huge here. Before, I mean, this was obviously before he went all fucking, jerk off in the movie theater.
I mean, I was never a huge fan, and I think it's because I didn't like watching it as a kid. It's actually like more of an adult show, even though
It's funny. It's funny you
child-centric.
say that because it's funny you say that. I didn't really watch a lot of Pee Wee Herman until like I was older, and it's funny because I'm watching it and I was like, "Who is this for?" Because it almost every part of it looks like it's for a kid, but there were a few jokes in there, like a lot of early '90s stuff. Where it's
Mirror
just
on the
like,
shoes.
oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Like I used to watch it all the time when I was really little.
Like-
It was actually like one of my favorite shows right after we moved up here and like we moved into town, got cable and all that. But then my mom came in one day. Like my mom she knew what it was, but she came in one day and I don't know what the fuck she heard, but whatever she heard, I was no longer allowed to watch PBS Playhouse anymore after
The
that.
only thing, Mr. Rogers, this is the only thing that I got out of this is a quote from him. I love tofu burgers and beets. I cannot get behind a guy that likes tofu burgers and beets.
Well, he's
My
dead.
mom
so-
Wait,
actually
are
loved
they
beef.
tofu burgers?
That's
Or are
what
they
Yeah, tofu
tofu burgers beets?
Fuck the years of helping kids and education and breaking down
And-
cultural barriers and all that
Exactly.
stuff and all the years and decades. You know what? He likes tofu burgers and beets, so he can go sit on a spike.
Man doesn't have a tickle trunk. You can't trust him.
I kid a lot. I actually liked Mr. Rogers when I was growing up.
I mean, we all grew up.
See, we just
most
didn't
of
have
us
him
grew
here.
up
We
on
had-
it.
I'm not gonna stand on the
Dressup.
side of he was a saint because nobody's a fucking saint.
I actually had.
You look back at him and he's too squeaky clean for me to trust.
I can get behind that. He was questionable.
But I think that's just like today's society that like we're.
No, I
automatically
think I don't. I've
programmed
never
to, like,
met somebody
not
in my
trust
life.
people who seem too good.
I have
When
never
I was
met.
growing up, I'm like, this guy is a little weird.
Yeah, I've never met somebody in my life that doesn't have faults or like that are
Well, I
not
mean, I'm
like
sure
not
he
like
has- or he
like
had
destructive
faults.
faults, like a really bad side to them that they try to quell. And he came off as such like a.
Oh
Hi,
yes,
kids.
the Crypt Keeper text. I remember that show. My mom and my dad and I used to watch that show every fucking week together.
Ally McBeal.
For a
Oh, the
little
Crypt
bit.
Keeper.
It's all right. I mean,
Nobody
like I
got
said,
nobody gets my jokes.
What was the show actually called? Tales.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
it's a good show. It's all right. I enjoyed it.
I loved
It
that
was on,
show.
it was on HBO.
Yeah, my mom and dad and I used to watch that when I was a fucking child.
And here we are today.
Someone clip that.
Yes.
All I heard was
And
fucking
again,
child.
Like when I was a fucking child, not while I was. I hate you.
You really liked Mr. Dress Up, didn't you?
So I guess-
no.
I guess this is a good segue because we're talking about childhood memories and whatnot and destruction of childhood memories. Let's talk about Nickelodeon and some of the interesting stuff that's been going on that side. Have you guys? I've actually known a little bit about this article about the Jeanette McCurdy memoir, and then apparently now another child actress from the Nickelodeon era is protesting outside Nickelodeon. So for those of you who don't know what this is all about, Jeanette McCurdy, who was a co-star on, I think she was on iCarly.
iCarly. She played
and-
Sam on iCarly.
Yep.
It was also on something else too.
She
yeah.
had her own spin-off show.
Ariana
Oh,
Grande
okay,
had a show together.
So Jeanette McCurdy came out with a memoir, which which I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's something like "I'm Glad My Mom Is
I'm
Dead" or
glad
something
my
like
mom
that.
is dead. Yeah.
Which I love the name of that memoir. I think that's really it's messed up, but I appreciated it. So in that memoir, she kind of explained a lot of things about like how it was working as a Nickelodeon actress and as a child star, and even the fact that that allegedly Nickelodeon offered her $300,000 not to speak about her experiences with the network. And so shortly thereafter, Alexa Nicholas, who played Nicole on the show Zoe 101, I never saw that one, led a protest outside the network's headquarters earlier a couple weeks ago. Apparently, Alexa herself had previously spoken out about what it was like at Nickelodeon, alleging that Zoe 101 star Jamie Lynn Spears would bully her on set, and she used to use her sister Brittany to inflict verbal abuse on Alexa. Brittany has since said that her sister was lying about Alexa to her. Yesterday, a couple days ago, she posted a video on Instagram holding a Nickelodeon "Didn't Protect Me" sign and explained the protest ethos. And apparently, there's a bunch of more clips and everything like that, and even some stuff towards director Dan Schneider, who has done a bunch of the live action stuff in like the early 2000s, and has had a lot of scrutiny. So I'm never putting my kids as child actors. Never fucking
This
happening.
is actually not the first allegations that have come against Dan Schneider.
No,
Like,
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Not even remotely close. Like I think I want to say Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, Ariana Grande.
Yeah, there was quite a few of them that have come out speaking against him, saying that he was a predator that was working around children all the time.
It's such a weird environment when entertainment can get away with so much. It's like nobody really says anything, but all these fucking things show up where they're getting abused, getting sexually used, child
Getting
labor.
forced to be hooked on drugs.
It's like
Yep.
just because you're a kid and you're in the entertainment industry, no rules and laws apply all of a sudden. Like you shouldn't even be able to work at like any other job. You can't work at McDonald's when you're fucking 5.
Right?
No.
Like I think Hollywood right now, they're getting better with child actors because of the former child actors that have spoke out. And you had like Harvey Weinstein that got arrested and all of these
I
other
think it was just fucking like adult people.
Well, right, but like the other producers, directors, a lot of them got called out for the shit that they were pulling, whether it was against an adult or a child. So a lot of them are like gone from fucking Hollywood. But
I mean, look at
Dan
the,
Schneider, from what I understand, he is still working for Nickelodeon.
But you look at the child stars out there. They either leave Hollywood, completely burn out, and are 70 at the age of 25 with the worst baggage in the world, or they like somehow navigate and move forward, even though it's their best days are behind them, usually acting wise.
Well,
And I don't think Schneider's around anymore. I think he's been gone for a
Oh.
couple of years.
really okay. Sorry about that. Then
So I'm going to ask this one question, and this is just me asking this question because I do not understand people. And I get it. It is really hard to talk about these things, and I completely and totally understand that. they're now just coming out. How old is Jeanette McCurdy? How old is Ariana Grande? How long ago did this happen? Like 10 years ago, right?
Jeanette McCurdy is 30.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Jeanette actually tried to speak out against it like way back when, but Christ, it was.
But the
she
thing
was
is
still a
too,
teenager.
when you're like really
that's
young,
that's when they offered her the $300,000 to never talk about it again, which she turned down. But nothing was that she spoke out about it, but nothing was ever done about it because nobody fucking listened to her.
when you're really young too, you don't really like think automatically to be like,
I understand. I understand that. And I get that. But why now? 10, 12, 13, 14
Because
years
the atmosphere
later?
is set up for it. The atmosphere right now is prime opportunity.
and she needs some
to
money,
actually
man.
get
Come
people to
on.
pay. Well, no,
There's
because
both
get it,
things
but I
both things
don't-
can be true.
I think it's both. Yeah, I think
I
it's both.
cannot
both, but
together. If my daughter, I will ask my daughter all the time, how did school go? You can tell me anything. You're not going to get in trouble.
right,
doesn't-
right.
No, but that
Showbiz
doesn't
parents are
mean.
not exactly the
The
same.
showbiz parents are part of the fucking problem.
Exactly. I mean,
Well, I mean, come on, they're
Lindsay
selling their
Lohan's
kid
mom.
for money.
Look at Lindsay Lohan's mom. Lindsay Lohan has actually gone on record, and her mother admitted to it, that when Lindsay Lohan was only like 12, 13 years old, her mom was driving her to Hollywood parties with these big-time producers that were freaking grown-ass adults, and she was being given drugs, alcohol. She was being like raped and sexually mutilated or brutalized at these things. Her mother fucking knew it, but her mother just wanted her to get more acting gigs, so her mother drove her to it.
Yeah, because she's making that bank. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like they're
Same thing happened to Drew Barrymore.
Yep.
child acting needs to be so highly controlled, and I know that like there's certain like acting gigs in entertainment. Okay, it's hard to tell a story without kids sometimes, depending on the story that you're trying to tell. And
Right.
even in like horror movies and stuff, like it's scarier when you're looking at it from like the kid's perspective because of the innocence and stuff like that. A lot of these roles though for child actors, like I know that they're like the parents need to be fucking checked so that we know they're not fucking selling them out left, right, and center. Like they've got to be. It's the money gets involved, and then they get like my kid is a commodity more than my child, which is so weird to think of. But
I
hell,
agree.
people
and I
are terrible.
just want to point out, I am not saying that Jeanette McCurdy is wrong. I'm not saying any of these people are wrong. I just don't.
Well,
I
anyway, using
cannot.
kids is wrong.
I cannot process or have a thought in my head that it takes. Nobody will listen to these people when they say this shit. Now they do. Like, hey, are you being molested? Like that's the first thing that flies out of an interviewer's mouth.
Actually,
being
here's the thing,
molested?
JP.
I get it.
Okay, so no, like I don't fully think that you do because, like, as a person that was violated as a teenager,
Oh my God.
even
You're missing my point,
Listen,
Gina. I'm not
listen.
disagreeing with you.
I
just
know,
don't
but like
understand.
you're making it seem like, and I understand that this may not be how you're making or you're trying to make this seem, but what you're saying basically is like, well, why didn't they speak out about it? Well, sometimes when you're a kid, you're fucking scared.
Oh, no,
He's
that's not what I'm saying. I understand that they're scared to do it, and I get it. I am a highly educated young man. I'm not young
I was
anymore.
gonna say, no.
There's one word that
I think he lied about all of those.
That right away. Oh my god.
I deal with these things at work. I have to deal with these things, so I understand it. My thought process is, don't be scared. I'm advocating here right now.
Yeah, like I
Do
understand.
not ever be afraid to speak the fuck out. If nobody wants to listen to you, there is somebody that fucking will.
But
Go
I
to
think
the right people.
I think the
Don't
problem
go to
too
those
is
people that are just looking for a money grab.
Oh, and you know what? Earlier I said Lindsay Lohan with Nickelodeon. That's not who I was thinking. Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was the one that tried to say something.
the problem too is like I think you're looking at it from more like a mature mindset. When it comes to kids, if something's happening, they're going to talk to their parents. And if their parents are in it for the money, they're going to tell their kids, it's okay.
supposed to happen, honey. Go
Yeah,
back.
it's okay. Yeah.
Which is a
And that's
disgusting
exactly
thing
what
to
happened
actually
beforehand.
say, but you know it's happened.
Yeah.
Which is why the only acting Wendy is ever going to do before she's 18 is high school plays.
High school plays.
You know, I wouldn't have a problem with my child becoming an actor, but I would be on her like fucking white on rice. Like,
Yeah, right.
I
would be having the studios signing a personal legalized document saying if my child gets given any fucking drugs, I have the right to sue them for every
Well,
drop
well,
they are
Exactly.
worth.
And not
I
only
will-
that, but I believe that they most sets anyway nowadays, like the parents are actually allowed to be on set. That would be my.
They can choose to be on set
that
for a
would be
minor.
my-
They should be
yeah,
on set for a
that
minor.
would be my.
That
That would be my like thing. I'm there. Like
The-
if she's
the-
on set, then I'm fucking there.
The funniest
Agreed.
instance of that is fucking McLovin, where he's
Yeah.
having sex with that woman. His mom's on set.
I just want to point out. Can we talk about this gift for a minute?
It's in. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing.
Wait, his mom was on set.
Yeah, why? Because he was underage. I didn't. Like, how do you fucking get a gift for this?
Yeah, like what the fuck is happening with this kid? Like that's disturbing as fuck.
Riley
It's not.
You just-
actually did in that episode. I remember watching this episode. She actually pulled a picture of Arnold out from underneath her sheets.
Yeah, but right now it does not. I was just
It's
gonna
like
say-
you guys give me all these
Sorry.
fucking weird ass. Okay, you guys give me all these weird ass fucking topics, and it's like you got to get a visual for it.
you don't have to do a GIF.
I
You
know,
just
I
do a
could do it.
still image
You
of.
can
I-
throw a
I-
picture of
I
fucking
do have
in-
still images, but I don't know who the fuck that person was. Like I could get an image of her, but how many people would know?
The only
Like,
reason why I know who she is because Austin used to watch iCarly all the time when he was younger.
football
'Cause
head.
He had a crush on Carly, so he would always watch iCarly.
She's giving herself football head.
I mean, I miss shows like Hey Arnold. That was one of my favorites. I loved Hey Arnold. I watched that shit. Hey Arnold and Rugrats. I watched
cartoon.
all the time when I was a teenager.
Hey Arnold
the
was
fucking
pretty
time.
solid.
It was.
Rugrats was
I like
hit
Doug,
and miss
too.
for me.
I like
Doug
Doug.
was great.
The first three Nicktoons that were a part of the network were Rugrats, Doug, and Ren and Stimpy. You talk about three very fucking different shows.
Conquer the Network. I never really watched Ren and Stimpy. I was actually like just turned off by the animation.
Ren and Stimpy, I never really got behind.
It was
They
too
kinda
gross for me as a kid.
I was
but
gonna
loved
say
it as
they
an
kind
adult.
of they kind of grossed me out. Like I don't know, as a teenager, I would watch Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and then like my dad and I watched Beavis and Butthead every week when the new episode came out. You know,
What I find so funny is that like North American animation is consistently hideous. They have the means to like draw something better, but it's like no, we got to make it uglier.
you know do you know what I believe this was a Nickelodeon show, and it was one of my son's favorites. Fucking what is it called? With the beavers.
Yeah,
Angry Beavers. There you go. I fucking love Angry Beavers. And hey, Real Monsters was good too.
Real Monsters. Yeah, that was good.
What I will say
Yvonne
is
of the Yukon, which I think might have been just a Canadian thing.
it
What
was.
the did you say Yvonne of the Yukon?
The name's a giveaway. The thing with American animation is that it's kind of it is all over the place. It can be amazingly beautiful, but what fascinates me is that sometimes the shows can be visually disgusting.
Yeah,
but writing and acting could be
no. The writing and acting is
sometimes
grade
it's
A.
incredible.
It is incredible. It's just like the actual character animation. It's like they just skew to horribly looking people.
Which
Like
I
they just
kinda,
make everything like it's such a juxtaposition to like the solid animation of Disney and the solid animation of you go
Yeah, but-
east, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
but,
such
you
a
know, like-
weird change.
Yeah, but like, okay, you look at the animation, especially in like the 80s, 90s for Disney, and it was mostly princess movies. And I don't know about any other girls that are right around my age, but that was a lot to try to live up to. Like, even though it's a cartoon, they always depicted perfect girls and perfect boys, and everybody was all
But who the fuck is
perfect.
who the fuck? I've never thought in my mind of living up to animation.
No, well,
It's
not,
the
not
it's the,
living up to, but
maybe
like
the theme
it,
behind it
no,
sometimes, but not the
yes,
fucking.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Like
can't wait to grow up and look like Simba.
listen, it instilled almost like a toxicity in your mind because like if you were a little girl,
I don't know about that.
hear me out. Because if you were a little girl, you would grow up like, oh, I can't wait to meet my Prince Charming. Like they don't
Well,
fucking
just like the thing is, society did nothing to dissuade that. Society, but outside of the animation,
I agree.
animation could be the
I
animation.
agree.
Society was just like, yeah, you need 2.5 kids, dog, pick a fence, suck my dick. King of the
Yeah.
Hill was mentioned by Tex. Not a huge fan personally.
I appreciated it after it was gone. And the thing is that
too
King of
dry
the-
for me.
Well, that's what I was about to say. King of the Hill is one of those things where it's like you have to enjoy it.
I think it's also
it's
like
absolutely not for the masses.
I'm
100%.
not its demographic.
But-
I'm assuming by his name he lives in Texas. It probably
Yeah.
would fit
But
his
see, okay.
life and upbringing and stuff a lot more than it would fit mine.
Well, it's
But
the
you guys
awkward.
were- sorry.
I was just say that the reason I think King of the Hill works is because it's the awkward. It's awkward humor because
It's
it's
sarcasm. It's sarcasm at its finest.
it's that too because it's like Hank is this like dry, boring person. So when something that doesn't happen that's within like a normal like idea or like something even that's like slightly unnormal or slightly off a little bit, even if it's still like normal to most people, he has like a crazy reaction to it or he overthinks it, and then Peggy's her own character where she's just like
I mean,
like
don't,
so
Typical
naive.
Midwest mom.
don't get me wrong. I don't I'm not. I don't hate it. I just it's
So
something I would watch an episode or two every now and then, but I
Dale's
would
the best
never
character.
watch the entirety of it.
Bobby was
Probably.
the character. Okay, so I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I know this, but one that
Here we go.
I really didn't
Hate it.
care for all that much.
Oh,
I like
love it.
I like 2 characters out of it, but otherwise I really didn't care for it all that much. Was fucking Family Guy.
Family Guy had
So,
a
the
run.
longer it went on, the more annoying it got.
See,
Family
the
Guy
first-
was
I
good
was
for
gonna
a
say, like,
handful of
the-
seasons. I'm
I
gonna
was
say.
gonna say like the first 2 seasons of Family Guy I liked, and I loved Stewie and I liked Quagmire, but after the first 2 seasons, it was just like the same thing on fucking auto.
It started not telling a story and instead being like, remember when,
just not
remember
funny.
when, remember when. And it's like, okay, so you're doing a skit comedy show now.
That or hey, what
Yeah.
can we do with Jesus today?
Yeah, I felt like they
there's a-
tried really hard to be South Park and never really hit that
Yeah.
level.
You're right. They lean too much on the situation, like just like the time when and there's actually a couple of jokes that I actually really like from the first 3 seasons of Family Guy were my favorites because there were jokes that like in the context of the story that were much funnier as opposed to just random cutaways. Like there was one where like Peter's like does something, and he's like, "Peter, you're fired," and he goes, "Ah, shit, for how long?" And I don't know why that joke just really like got to me, but like little things like that as opposed to like just cutaways to just random like, "Oh, that was worse than when I da 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 da," and like yeah, those are funny, but like you're leaning a little.
Too heavily on
heavy
I
into
personally,
those.
this might be a weird take, but I think like Family Guy at its top is better, but over longevity, American Dad is a better show for me.
Actually, yeah, I do like.
American Dad.
yeah.
I mean, they hit a lot of real things too. I mean, remember the episode of American Dad
Roger.
when the gun problem started, and he sat there, he put the gun on the table. Okay, kill, and it does nothing.
But they also didn't do the like cutaways. It was the show had a beginning, middle, and end every episode, and the characters went through that. It wasn't let me take 20 minutes to talk about something happened somewhere else. So Texas Simpsons is better than South Park or Family Guy. Simpsons is top tier.
Simpsons sucked.
First 10 seasons of
I'm gonna
Simpsons.
say 8 because I don't
Okay,
count the
okay.
first season. The first season is crap.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So
you're learning everything about the family. So,
But it's also animated terribly and just doesn't look good.
but the jokes in the Simpsons, oh my god, fucking gold back then.
I watched one episode of The Simpsons and never watched another one.
I think
that's
Listen, Simpsons are kind of hit and miss for me. Like I don't not like them or anything. It's just I can go without watching them.
well now especially like Jesus
Yeah.
they had a run.
Of course.
They had a
I can go
run.
without watching.
I guess I never really got like full into it. Sorry,
We're not
JP.
watching any of them, to be
I
honest.
think South Park is probably the best of the bunch with the worst animation.
Yeah.
Which is
I
funny
can agree with
because
that.
First animation part is on purpose.
I
Yeah,
think
well,
they've
it's
gotten
easy to
better
make. They
both
make it, like,
ways.
Months
It's
before
cheap
it
as hell,
shows.
They make it in 6 days.
Yeah. So I mean, the animation is
See,
on
but, like-
purpose, but it works.
I love
For-
that.
yeah,
I love
for
that
me-
special.
For me, South Park, like the first 5 seasons, I really was into the show. And then after that, I don't know if it was maybe just because of my age or because I was like in my 20s by that time, or if it was just because it had gotten that bad, I fell off of it.
I
I
feel
don't know.
like
I don't know what it was like in later years, but
I
I know
actually
for
feel
a
like-
while there, it went really, really dull.
South Park in the last 5 to 8 years has been the best version of South Park. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, the original ones were very, like, blatantly, like, almost humorless because their humor was so blatant. Like, it's like fart and barf, sex jokes and shit like that. As the creators grew with the characters, it became more like it referenced real life a lot more, made a lot of fun out of things that were happening in real life. And it's so topical, and it can be so topical because it fucking takes no time to make. So they might be like the first out of the gate to like make fun of something because it happened a week ago.
I love
Yeah.
the documentary where they show how they make an episode in 6 days. Not because of the fact that they just make an episode in 6 days, but the opening of it is, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it cuts to one of the creators. I can't remember which one it was. It was either Matt Stone. I think it was Matt Stone, but I could be wrong. And he's like, it cuts to him in his office. He's like, so I was stoned last night and I was playing on the Xbox and I'm watching, and there's a lower, I was watching the NBA playoffs, and then there's a lower third that says, brand new episode of South Park next Wednesday at 10. And I thought to myself, shit, we don't have a fucking episode.
It's that kind of shit that's like, but it helps them so
I will
much.
say this: the guys that do South Park are very good. Matt Stone and Trey. I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
You are.
Yep.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Their movie Basketball.
I love that movie.
Yeah, funny.
You gotta see the
Orgasmo?
Mormon thing.
Orgasmo was
like,
funny.
I used to make up games like that in my backyard.
I think we all did. Amalgamation.
It's
Don't-
called an imagine. See, this is the problem. It's called an imagination.
Yeah.
Those guys actually have an I've only seen a few episodes of South Park. I'm not going to sit down and watch it, but them two are
Don't-
very funny. I will
don't
give them
those
credit.
two-
They are very funny.
Don't those two also? Didn't they also do Beer Fest?
No, that's
No.
that's Broken Lizard.
Yeah, yeah.
Broken
That's
Lizard.
the
Broken Lizard's good.
Super Troopers.
Oh,
Broken Lizard.
yeah.
them
I
guys
love those
them
guys.
guys are. I could sit here and argue with everybody. I can almost guarantee everybody agrees. Them guys are the best at those kind of.
I mean, there's a couple
Fucking
groupings
love
of
them, like,
comedy
Super
troops that
Troopers
are
is my favorite.
incredibly good. Broken Lizard, you got the Broken Lizard, then you've got Will Ferrell movies and everybody involved in those,
It
which
depends.
most of the
That's
time are pretty funny. I'm gonna say.
Oh my god! Speaking of funny new movies, sorry, before I forget, there is a new movie out on Netflix called Me Time. It has Kevin Hart and fucking Mark Wahlberg in it.
I
Watched
saw
it
that.
today. It is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
See,
it's-
I
it's-
like Mark
really
it's pretty
Wahlberg.
good.
Kevin Hart is a very
But they balance each
he's
other out. and
okay.
They
the way, can
balance
I-
each other out because like Kevin is like the safe one, you know, and then Mark Wahlberg's like the wild one. But like it's fucking hilarious. It's
Can I
pretty.
just say how we got from like to Nickelodeon child abuse to this?
Can we
Yeah.
move on from this gif of this girl finger banging herself?
Yeah,
Please.
You chose the gift.
I know, but I didn't think it was gonna be a 7-hour conversation. Fuck's sakes.
These gifts, though.
Fine. Let's move on. Let's move on to something a little more lighthearted. An elephant in Thailand ripped his handler in half after going crazy hauling wood during a hot Thai summer, according to a report. So, no shit, a male elephant ripped its handler in half after it was made to haul wood during the hot weather, according to a member of the Thai police. The 20-year-old elephant named Pom Pam, stabbed Supachai Wongfed, 33, with its tusks several times last Wednesday.
His name was
Pam
Supachai?
then
Supachai.
Supachai, Supachai. Pam then tore Wong Fayed in half, leaving a pool of blood, according to police. Police said the elephant was going crazy after being made to haul wood from a rubber plantation for 4 days. Temperatures reached 89.5 degrees Fahrenheit on the day of the attack. The elephant was aggressive when we found it. We suspect it was irritable and attacked its caretaker. No fucking shit. Volunteers and livestock officers located Pam about 500 yards away from Fayed's body after the attack. Then shot the elephant with sedative dart and arranged for transport to rehabilitation facility. Last month, an elephant attacked its handler after another rubber plantation. Also in Southern Thailand after being made carry heavy logs. So maybe you shouldn't fucking do that to elephants.
Well,
So leave him in the rehabilitation center for just a bit longer than what you did there.
First of all, what is
Okay,
this
so-
rehab center for elephants? Like,
Okay,
emotional
so-
rehab over time? Like, what's going
Okay,
I saw your
like,
gift for this one.
I'm glad that they're putting them in rehabilitation centers instead of just killing them. But it's a wild.
Well, you got to put him on trial. He killed 2 people.
Gina, no, they're not wild elephants. They are usually captured as calves and
No,
raised.
I understand, but like
For the most
I understand that they're being raised in captivity. I understand that, but deep down inside, they are still fucking wild animals. You know,
Why
so
is he
like,
being forced to work?
He's not being forced to work. That's what he's trained for.
well,
to work? Well,
I
that's the same fucking thing as being forced to
Listen,
work.
I am
Not here in America. What are you talking about?
I'm a firm believer
forced to
that
work.
when it comes to an animal like that, like I understand some of them are like born into captivity and you know, you really can't do anything about that. Or if they're injured and they get brought into captivity, I understand that. But like these animals are purposely taken from the wild. Call me a fucking
Well, this might not be. This might have been like a rescue.
I'm just saying in general, these animals are taken from the wild to be raised in captivity in order to do jobs like this. What do you fucking think is going to happen? Whether they're raised in captivity or not, they are still a fucking wild animal. They're still going to go to their primal instincts.
Well, I want to know
It's
more
like-
about
It's
Supachai.
Well,
if you
can I
pin a
also-
person in the corner.
We
like
also
a
have to
person.
remember a big part of this article was that this elephant went crazy because of the heat. It's not that he went back to his wild animal instincts.
See,
Right,
Heist
like,
gets it.
I-
Heist
okay.
gets it.
Right, but like, I want to know. I'm sorry. Like, I guess I'm
Are they
looking at
paying
it-
this elephant?
No, I'm looking at it like a lot of times these people have like whips and shit like that they
Oh
are
my
using
God,
to keep
you're
the
just giving me
animal
more.
in line. Was there something like that was being used on the animal to add to the animal's aggravation? Is my question.
I don't
Uh-huh.
Can I just say that personally, I wouldn't fuck with an animal that's bigger than me.
Yeah, just let it.
In general.
Like, I
Right.
mean,
However, this is also the land of India, where elephants
yeah.
are
I mean,
used
the funny
as
part-
horses to do all the work.
the
I
funny
get
part
it.
of this
I
whole
don't
conversation
know.
can be applied to so many other instances in the real world of
Yeah.
humans.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, it's kind of like if you pin a human in the corner and
Uh-huh.
not expect them
It's
to
almost
act
like you make them to work and don't pay them and beat them with whips.
Well, the elephant's getting paid. He's getting free room and board. He's getting food. He's getting baths
I'm
regularly.
not trying to say
Basement,
anything
steer
like
this back
that.
in the right lane,
No,
please.
I wouldn't know the
Basement is
circumstances.
described, as far as humans go, a liberal.
Well,
Slavery?
A liberal. Liberal. Somebody that you make work that doesn't want to work, it's a liberal.
I was going with slavery,
How
personally.
did we get to
No.
I just
He's not
I
paid.
I needed
The elephant
to
is
know,
not
like,
paid.
the circumstances behind it
What
because
is the
like
elephant going to use actual money for? Basically?
Yeah, then why is he actually
work?
Then why is he actually working
so,
for
like-
people?
He's paid in
when,
peanuts.
okay, so like when I heard this story, the first thing I immediately, and this is my brain, that's just how it's trained. First thing I thought immediately was like elephants in the fucking circus, and I know that it's two completely different things.
Is it really?
But I
Not
can't
too
I
far
can't-
off, though.
It's
I
not
can't, like
too
I
much.
can't take my kids to the circus anymore because the last time we
Why
were at
would
the
you?
circus, My kids were literally like damn near crying. Well, my oldest was pissed.
The circus is
and
terrible.
The youngest was crying because these animals were like being whipped into submission. And I understand it's two different circumstances, but that's just where my brain went.
It's pretty much the same. I don't understand. Like, if you want to fucking cut trees down. Why are you employing an elephant? It
To
seems
haul
like
the trees back to the factory because of the forest that they are
'cause-
bringing these trees through. They can't bring trucks in, and they
But
can't bring
you're,
heavy
you're
machinery
justifying a terrible act with another terrible act.
Well, here's the thing: animals are like some animals.
Stop driving your car because it's rubber plants that they were transporting.
So, like, okay, some animals are they're born and they're bred to be this, okay, but and I guess you can
Like you and me.
I guess elephants, like exactly, like elephants, a little bit, but like first thing that comes to mind when I think like hauling heavy loads is more horses than elephants.
Elephants have hundreds more
Well,
than power than a horse.
They're also smarter than a horse.
I understand that, but like that's just I guess it's just like my American
They're
brain.
they're smarter than a horse.
Elephants over here, except for the circus.
Okay, when they're smarter than a horse and they're bigger than you, don't fuck with them.
Exactly.
Like, it's a rule of thumb. I'm sorry, Super Chai, or whatever the fuck your name was. You got stabbed to death, and your friend got bisected. This shit happens.
No problem with what.
I want a horror movie about Dumbo. Well, Dumbo is kind of a horror movie in and of itself. So.
We're getting a horror movie about Winnie the
My daughter.
I you know, people just fuck the PETA. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why are you fucking PETA?
I said
I
fuck
mean-
PETA.
He turned himself into a rock in that movie. I didn't
I'm not
care
trying
for.
to come off sounding like Peter or anything, but it's just like it's just where my brain goes right away because I think elephant, I think circus.
I mean, God on Friday. Here's the thing. Who is this guy? Why was he using elephants?
To haul rubber trees back to the factory so that they can make more rubber.
So the elephant's not working for money, right?
Well, the elephant doesn't need money. He could be a rich fucking elephant, though. Who knows?
So here's the thing, and this is going to be the theme of the night. What is the whole story?
The whole story is
He
that
killed
during
his
their
handlers.
massive heat wave that they are having over there, this elephant went crazy and ripped his mahout in half.
What is a fucking mahout?
An elephant handler over in India.
Thank you. I'm like, what the fuck is a mahout?
Issue.
I watched way too much Steve Irwin as a child, so I know this.
But
Look what happened to him.
this elephant.
It was just the massive heat wave going over there that drove the elephant crazy.
The elephant.
Is he crazy, though? He just fucking killed people.
I have a hard time believing that because if it is that hot, then would you want to be fucking working in that heat? First of all, and
No, that's why you get an elephant to do it.
But second
Well,
of all,
they're
I just have a hard time believing that it was just simply the heat that made this elephant go nuts.
You
Like,
don't know animals.
He was tired of Super Chai and his bullshit.
I feel like there was something done to like poke this elephant a little bit.
That's why I said, what is the whole story?
He was tired of picking rubber trees. And Super Chai was pissing his ass off, and it was just one of those days.
But there was no.
Oh my god! I just
Sorry, it's not India. It was Thailand,
So
which is even worse.
There is no. Was there any reports of abuse? That's the thing that I'm.
my question.
He abused
If
Super Chai.
not, then this elephant just.
Had enough.
I think we need a trial.
I just seen the fucking GIF, and the GIF is fucking fantastic.
The GIF is great.
I was trying to think of a joke to make Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, but
Oh god!
Just
Anyway.
fucking leave elephants alone. Leave her alone.
speaking of animals in the wild, apparently there's a Jumanji themed amusement park coming next year.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Anything to make money.
I mean, I haven't gone to any of the themed amusement parks, but I feel like I might have fun. Not in Jumanji.
Listen, is it not enough that I feel like we're living in real world fucking Jumanji throughout these days? Like,
are we? The Super Chai was. That's for damn
okay.
sure.
You know what? Well, here's the thing. Like, what did they do in Jurassic Park? They thought, oh, it's a good idea to bring back dinosaurs, and now they're going to bring Jumanji to life.
So you start by playing the game.
50% off. That's a good deal.
Imagine this: like you go into a room with like 12 different doors, and you start by rolling the dice, and whatever die you roll, you go through one door, and that shit is actually
I wouldn't roll
there.
dice to go through a door, but okay.
Okay, but listen.
Well, that's Jumanji.
It makes it like a game show more than a fucking themed fucking park.
The question is it going to stay true to the real Jumanji? Because
well, if it did, then everybody would be dead.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't stay true to the real Jumanji because you can't have people walking into a room full of loose fucking elephants and animals.
Well, you
running
can.
Around, you know,
just go to Thailand.
Well, actually, there is a safari out there where the animals are running free, but the humans are driven around in caged trucks.
The Jumanji film franchise will take a massive leap off the big screen to offer the fans the opportunity to live their own adventures in an all-new immersive amusement park in London. The new project will be inspired by the 2017 film Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and its 2019 sequel Jumanji: The Next Level, and scheduled to open at the Chestington World of Adventures Resort in spring of 2023.
So that's a different story then, because there weren't a whole lot of animals or anything like that.
Version of a safari is all it is.
Okay, I have seen videos from safaris, and no. That's all I can say.
Wait,
no,
I went to a safari. The African lion safari. Come on.
What's the thing about safaris, everybody?
I have seen a fucking video of a safari where there was a fucking lion that came up to the car, jumped on top of the roof, and was like just gently swatting at this guy's head. Like it was a fucking toy.
Are taking place in Africa, most of them. Where the animals are actually wild animals.
And
you don't say. I didn't know that was what a safari was.
Yes, well, there's African lion safari here. I went to that.
We actually have a drive-through safari in South Dakota too. It's like it
was the fucking greatest experience.
We have a bear safari thing.
Busch Gardens in fucking Florida.
Baboons.
There's Animal Kingdom in Florida. What are you talking about, Busch Gardens?
I'm just saying.
They have Gatorland or whatever it's called in
these safaris that you're probably seeing online are actual wild fucking animals.
Yes, they're actually in Africa in the actual animals' habitat.
Yeah, I watched the lion play.
Safaris we could afford to go to. That's not the issue.
Hey man, it was fucking hilarious for me.
That lion was like fucking batting that guy's head around like a cat with a ball of yarn. I was like, oh hell no. Hell.
The safari didn't even start, and like the car in front of me had two baboons just fucking butt fucking each other. And I was like a 9-year-old kid with my parents there. It's like, what are the baboons doing, mommy?
The one time my family and I went to Disney when I was a kid, we went through the Animal Kingdom safari, and my dad tried to do everything he could to try to get the baboons on the hood of the car.
Oh man, the baboons were all over the car.
I don't know if I want your dad hanging around.
Okay, listen. This just like that story just reminds me of.
Kidding.
What the fuck? Oh my god, guys! What is the name of that fucking John Candy movie? Fucking where they go camping
with baboons.
Great Outdoors. Well, how could I have forgotten that? That was like one of my favorites. But that's just like Heather's story with the baboons. It reminded me of when John Candy was trying to get the bears on the car.
See, the bear came on the car on the side.
No, yeah, because he
in my
fed the bear. Like he got out and put a candy bar on the fucking.
In my adventure, the bear came and tipped the car, or tried to, like pushed on it, and then gave a giraffe gum.
What?
Oh.
And that was the entirety of my African lion safari fun time.
There was a giraffe somewhere fucking chewing bubble gum, blowing bubbles.
Oh, it took the whole fucking hubba bubba, like the whole pack out of my hand.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he was blowing some big bubbles then.
I think it might have died. That much fucking hubba bubba. Got a long neck.
Hubba Bubba's like the best gum, but it loses its
It's too
flavor so
much.
fucking
It's too
quick.
much for just that one cube.
Well,
So
see, I like the watermelon one.
okay, so
I
back-
always swallow it by accident because it's so fucking
that's
good.
not. Yeah, we're gonna clip that.
Not good. I know that. Shut up.
Back to Jumanji. I think like the idea of it being an amusement park is kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm down for it if then they will have like live animals and stuff. It's kind of just a glorified zoo
Oh,
and
no.
not good.
Not necessarily, because Connor said that it's going to be based on the two newer Jumanjis, and there were
They had a lot of
less
animals
wild
in that shit.
There was
And it's
actually
because-
less wild animals in that one.
because- and I know Connor wants to say something, but I can tell you why. It's because it was a bigger box office hit.
And it was even bigger because of The Rock and Jack Black.
The
Well, that's
only thing is
Relevant.
it should be an amusement
Has
park
it
ride.
happened
Like,
recently?
and I've never been to Disneyland. I've never been to Disney World. I would love to go because I do want to go to what is the Star Wars one?
I want to go on the teacups.
I want to go to
I
the Star Wars
wanna
one
do
and the Harry Potter one, and
Me too.
That's
That's
pretty
I
much
do want to do those.
I still have JP88 here.
I think that is what they should do with it, and not base it off of fucking having The Rock saying, "I'm going to lay the smacketh down." on your
the thing is, it doesn't
fucking-
have enough.
Fuck The Rock.
It doesn't have enough-
This is why I cannot stand the fucking Rock.
It doesn't have enough world building to do what Star Wars and Harry Potter did, because a
No,
lot of that
that's-
is
the
like
original
I'm going
Jumanji
to
was
choose
better.
I'm going to choose my droid. I'm going to choose my wand. This is going to be like I'm going to boot up a game and choose my character, and that's that. I guess I don't know.
Can I ask? I guess I didn't hear when Connor was reading the article, but is this like a theme park on its own, or is this like through like Universal or Disney?
So it's going to be in the UK, and they have their own
Oh,
islands
okay.
of it. They have their own islands of adventure, so it's going to be kind of like, essentially, it's going to be like Universal. So it's going to be it's going to be like the equivalent of Harry Potter at Universal, where it's going to be its own
Yeah.
separate area and it's part of a larger group.
It doesn't-
I don't know why, but I could have sworn up, down, left, right, and center that the original Jumanji was originally a Disney film. I don't know why I thought that.
No, it
No.
was Warner Brothers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
I think
Sony.
so.
Sony.
Yeah.
Sony, but for some
The
reason,
one good movie Sony made.
Well, Sony's made some good fucking.
Yeah, Sony has made some good ones. Spider-Man.
but
Spider-Man 2 is really fucking good. Anyway, go ahead, Connor.
no, that was the only thing I was going to mention, was because I could have sworn up, down, left, right, and center that the original Jumanji was a Disney movie. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is. It'll be kind of neat. It'll be basically like their excuse to do like some sort of safari adventure type theme park, but like cool. Like, you know, nothing. I'm kind of indifferent about the whole thing. But yeah, to your guys' point, I do see exactly why they would do it based off of the
But-
modern movies versus the classic
But
ones.
here's the thing, though. I feel like if they made, the reason why I asked if it was going to be through somebody else or if it was going to be its own individual theme park, is there's actually an old abandoned theme park in Arkansas that was built back in, I think, like the 1950s or something, and it was based on
The park
it
you're
was-
talking about.
yeah, it was based on a comic that was really popular back then. But obviously, the older, you know, the more further into the times we got, the comic stopped and it lost its popularity, and the park was forced to shut down. And I'm
Tiger King?
afraid to see that for no, Tiger King was in Oklahoma, but
Yeah. He's joking.
but I'm afraid to see if that's going to happen with this park, because yes, Jumanji was a huge box office hit, and it's still like a decently liked movie now. But in a couple of years, is that going to be the same case?
They'll probably release
I
another
don't
one.
think it will, because I think because it being part of something else, once they see the popularity dying off, they'll tear it down and build something else.
So,
right. Which is, yeah. I
I
mean, since it's
don't
part of something else, that's
think
great. But if it was on its
that
own,
is
maybe.
true. I think it's because look, The Rock.
They'll
If
just
they're gonna
make
base it
another
off
one.
They're just gonna bring people are gonna fucking want to go to it because of The Rock.
I mean, I'm just honestly surprised that we haven't heard them building a Jungle Cruise ride in Disney.
Isn't
because of
there
him.
already one?
Yeah.
Isn't it based on a ride?
It is.
No, is it?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it
almost 1,000% sure it's based on a ride.
I don't know.
What?
Jungle
Jungle
Cruise.
Cruise.
Yeah, it is.
What ride?
The
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
That's the name.
It must have been there after we went there, because we
It,
went to
it,
everything.
it was a movie based on the ride. which is another movie that The Rock is in. I feel too.
Yeah.
There's a couple movies like that based
Yeah,
on
it is.
rides
It's
that
him and
are.
Emily Stone.
They redid Journey to the Center of the Earth because The Rock is in it.
Yeah, he's kind of
actually-
like
They're all over the place.
I
it's kind of like
liked-
Arnold
I liked-
Schwarzenegger.
I liked the two journeys with the Rock in it. Don't get me wrong, but I actually prefer the one with. I prefer
I
the one with
liked
Brendan
those
Fraser.
movies because I liked those movies because of Luis Gomez. That's it.
Yes,
The,
yes,
the-
I've never
I
seen-
love him.
Luis Gomez, the guy that looks like a pug dog.
Yes,
Yes.
I fucking
Yeah,
love him.
he's great.
I
I think The Rock's
Yeah.
best movie that I've
It's not a
seen
midget, no.
is no, he's just
He's
probably
being
kind of
short.
short.
Being king.
I think I liked. I think it was called Faster. I want to say.
no, wasn't it Drive?
No, Drive is a completely different movie. Faster, where he.
I know which one you're talking about, where he's the getaway driver.
I don't know if he's a getaway driver. I can't remember what it was. I know it was alright in the rundown, but like some of his other like the Fast and the Furious. Come on, they're just.
And I liked him in the Fast and the Furious.
I mean, the
guess.
Fast and Furious, you just like it's 100% time to shut my brain off and watch some dumb shit. Let's do it.
Well, speaking of movies, I might as well get this one out of the way real quick. The wonderful Ben Kingsley is looking to reprise his wonderful classic role as everyone's favorite British actor, Trevor Slattery, in another upcoming Marvel Studios series coming up to Disney Plus known as Wonder Man. Now, Wonder Man is obviously not as well known as any of the other Marvel characters, but apparently the show was first revealed to be in the works back in June. It will focus on the Marvel character Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man. In the comics, Williams is the son of a wealthy industrialist whose company falls on hard times due to competition from Stark Industries. Williams then accepts an offer from Baron Zemo that gives him ionic powers, including super strength and durability. After fighting the Avengers several times, Wonder Man ultimately joins their ranks. Kingsley returning as Slattery lends credence to reports that the show is intended to be a Hollywood satire, as it's been established that Slattery is a failed actor and Wonder Man has been an actor and stuntman in the comics. Cool.
He mentions even being an actor in Shang-Chi.
Yep.
So he mentions being an actor in the fucking Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So, but
I
so-
don't know about this one, man. Wonder Man.
don't.
I'm willing to give it a chance.
I'm not.
I am. You know what? The goodwill that Marvel has unearthed from me is slowly running out. I can guarantee that.
I can understand it for you, and I think they majorly fucked up with not keeping him as the Mandarin from Iron Man 2 and having that white guy be just the distraction so that he could get away and continue his nefarious deeds.
We talked about this.
We talked about it on the round table. I do agree that they royally fucked up with that.
Just like finger
But-
banging Sally Magoo on the street corner.
But I'm willing to give this a chance because he's a great actor. He's
Ben Kingsley and you're doing Shang-Chi this Monday. I will not
Yes.
be there. I
Oh,
thought
I
he
love
did
Shang-Chi.
pretty alright job in that movie.
I loved that movie in general. Like,
I have not
It's
seen
not
it.
really good.
So I think this phase of Marvel might actually
as I mentioned
I
with
actually enjoy.
Black Widow, we are definitely in the uptick here.
I actually have enjoyed these movies. The character that he portrays in Shang-Chi is pretty good.
wait, which one is he in Shang-Chi? Because
Yeah,
Ben Kingsley. Yeah.
you'll see. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
I
It is-
have seen Shang-Chi. That's why. I
Well,
was
don't
asking.
tell
He's
me.
the one
Don't
with-
tell me.
He's the one that they. He's the
Don't
one
tell
that has
me.
the really long. He's the one with the really long hair that they find.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's
That's all I'm saying.
funny. He's
Yeah.
funny in this movie. He is very funny.
And now I'm back.
I left it extremely vague, Basement. So don't worry.
I
It's-
don't really
yeah.
care too much, but
You haven't seen Shang-Chi yet, basically?
no, I'm watching it tomorrow.
I hate you.
By the way,
like, that's a good one.
Fun fact, it's actually the 1 year anniversary since the movie was released, which
It's
go figure.
perfect timing. Yeah.
Timing,
It's
right? That right?
I enjoyed it. I gave it it's one of my favorite.
I'm right there with you.
movies.
Right there with
Almost
you.
as good.
I will say
It's
this
almost
about-
as good as.
I'm sorry, JP.
No, it's just, he takes a breath and makes you think he's done talking.
I will say this: I watched Doctor Strange 2 the other day again, trying to make sense of it all, and it still mind fucked me.
No, it makes sense.
Watching
It's just not.
I don't like it. Like,
It's not
I don't like it.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's not a great movie. Multiverse
No,
Madness.
it's not. I
It's
don't
not.
like it at all. Like,
There's moments where it's all right, but
it's very
overall, it's
all
not that
over the
good.
place.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll
Very
get there.
fucking all over the place. Anyway,
I mean, at this point in time, I'm watching She-Hulk, so if it's like somebody takes a shit on the counter, I will probably enjoy it more.
I haven't
The
watched
only thing I will
yet.
say about She-Hulk is that I am. First off, second of all, I am. You know, I talked about this on Frank's channel a couple days ago. I said I am not. I'm waiting until the end because a lot of the times, especially with the shows, in the middle of them, it is very tricky to judge. And that's what I said about when we were doing the shows when we started Phase 4 was that like if you were to like watch it week to week, some of these shows you'd be like, holy shit. I mean, even Heather, which one was it? Was it WandaVision? You're like, oh, if I shut up after the second episode, I'd be out.
I'm the same way, but this is where I hate them because they've made such a monopoly of it that they feel they can really shit for multiple weeks
And get away with it.
and
one
it's
thing
just
that-
like why even have a fucking 9-episode season if you can't fill 3 episodes to begin with?
But the
Because they
one
want
thing
to keep
that
you
I
on the Disney Plus app as long as possible.
Well, that
one
shit
thing
ain't
that I
gonna do it.
did hear, and I haven't watched She-Hulk, but one thing that I did
She-Hulk.
hear was whatever. I'm abbreviating. I'm abbreviating without meaning to. But anyway, I haven't watched She-Hulk yet. But I did
Okay.
hear that they address like the fact that Edward Norton actually played the Hulk.
It's kind of like a fourth wall breaking confusion fest because it works in Deadpool. It does not work in this show so far. I'll give it to Connor because they have turned the boat around at like the mid mark or at the end. But in order for them to turn this boat around, they need the size of the fucking ocean. Because
I'm not saying it's not crap. I'm just saying is that I have to hold out, and I've heard because some people have said like reviewers have had access to the first 4 episodes for like review purposes. A lot of people did say the 4th episode does take a turn in the right direction as far as the overall story. So I'm kind of holding out hope, but the point is
I'm waiting for it to all be done so I can watch it all.
Yeah, that's
together
probably
and not
the
have
best.
to
Yeah,
do
do
that. Why
that
the fuck
because
am I torturing
I
myself?
mean, to be honest with you, like the show is like, hey, it's 45 minutes. It's not. It's 20 minutes, and the rest of it is fucking intro and exit.
Wonder Man, though, going back to the original article, feels like one of those things where like on paper, it's one of those things where Marvel's like, "Fuck it, we can do what we want." Like
It'll go one of two ways. Either it'll be like a self-masturbatory garbage fest, or it'll be actually clever, and it all depends on who's writing it and how it's being written.
It also depends on the bigger story, and I'm sure when
right. This show could be leading towards Secret Wars, or it could be leading towards Thunderbolts. We don't know.
She-Hulk is definitely leading towards those things, and
it's still crap. I understand.
Well, so far,
it's not. It's really bad.
But
it might be
the
worse
other
than
thing,
What If.
I'm sure we'll talk about
worse
this
than What If for me. I'm sorry. Right now, that could change.
Well, I was gonna say right now.
God, why, man?
Before you go on, Connor, before you go on, Connor, real quick, Gina, to reference what you said, they did the same thing with She-Hulk that they did in Iron Man 2 when they replaced Brody. That's how they referenced that Edward Norton.
Oh, yeah.
I had just heard that they, referenced him, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of cool. But,
so two things I'll just note is number one, we still have a Daredevil appearance.
Oh my
in
God!
She-Hulk.
Fucking Daredevil.
I am worried.
I'm
super worried because if this is where he's showing up, oh my God.
That's the first part. The second part is, and I'm sure we will. I'm just throwing this out there right now. for next week's No Bucks Given, you bet your ass that I'm going to talk at length about the announcements from D23, which is the.
There's going to be a lot. There is going to be a lot.
I'll be honest. I didn't think we were going to get much from Comic-Con, and it's like, oh, here's the world. So just if you any of those fellow Marvel nerds out there, I'm sure I will be leading the helm as far as some of the announcements from D23. That'll happen
D23.
next week. D23 is like basically like an investors expo.
Comic-Con. It's a Comic-Con.
Basically it's their
It
version.
sounds like a drug that you shouldn't be testing.
In Iron Man when Tony Stark does like his little expos, that's basically what this is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They'll make announcements about future
very
movies, Pixar stuffs, everything like that. So it's Star Wars. We'll probably get some more Star Wars things. In fact, I've heard rumors.
We're definitely going to get a ton of Star Wars
We're
stuff.
gonna probably get Ahsoka.
Also,
I
sounds
heard
like a
we're probably
football.
gonna get a Ahsoka trailer, Mando 3, season 3 trailer. So that's basically it's basically Disney's own version of Comic-Con. So
Sounds like
I'm sure we'll
football
cover it.
play. What's it called? D23. Is the 23rd version of it?
The 23rd Expo,
Okay.
yeah.
Where they landed at basement.
D23. D23. Say hut.
Hut.
Oh, it refers to the year 1923, the year the company was founded. Shit, Disney's gonna be 100 years old.
Yeah.
Fuck. Good lord.
Well, actually, no. They got their 50th anniversary coming up soon. I know through Sensi because
That doesn't make sense.
we're doing a trip.
No,
to Disney.
that's.
Wait.
I think that's 50 years for like Disney World or Disney.
Yeah,
Land or
that's the
something.
theme park.
But the company itself has been around for Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Yeah. Disney's been around for 100 years. Yep.
Good
I'm
lord.
immortal.
Speaking of great things for kids, let's talk about this 10-year-old girl who becomes the youngest trans model to walk in New York fashion.
And then we take a turn for the worst. Okay. Let's do this.
So
Do it.
JP, and then I look for the turn for the worst.
I saw this.
I think personally, I listen. I understand that some people know who they are as soon as as soon as they're able to understand.
It's
all
gotten
that.
a bit
But
ridiculous.
at 10 years
though.
old, I do not listen.
10 years too young.
My daughter is 11 years old.
But,
Okay?
but this
She has no idea who she is as a person because she is still a child. You're not supposed to know who the fuck they are.
So my question is, how is this not grooming?
So
Yeah, that's a
I
good question.
didn't even. I'll be very honest with you. I didn't even bother reading this article, even while we were just talking just now.
Hmm.
However, the second sentence in this article has me extremely concerned? and so does the second, third, fourth, fifth paragraph, which is, quote, 6 years after she began transitioning, Noella made history as the youngest out trans model to ever walk a runway during New York Fashion Week when she walked for designer Mel Atkinson and Trans Clothing Company. Few paragraphs later, according
She
to
was
her
4?
parents, Noella started saying she wasn't a boy when she was just 2 years old. At 4, she went to therapy and declared to the doctor that she was a girl. While her parents believe she's too young to medically transition, she socially transitioned at 4 and at 7 legally changed her name. That's also when she started her modeling career.
Okay. I can't wrap my head around this. First of all, a 7-year-old can't legally change their name unless the parents are on board with it. Second of all,
How is she speaking sentences that fucking clearly at 2 years old?
I mean,
Well, that I
you
can
realize
understand,
this age
but-
group also has imaginary friends they think are real.
mm-hmm.
Wendy has 3 of them. One of them is Alex.
Listen, my son, when he was younger, he played with dolls and all that stuff, played with Barbies, not all the time, just when they were around, if we were at a girl's house or whatever.
Kids don't differentiate like that for the
But-
most part. If it's there to be played with, they'll play with
That's
it.
the thing. Like, I always told my son that there were no such thing as girl toys or boy toys. They're just toys. Just play with the toys. And he understood that. But that did, oh my God, okay. Even if they're wearing dresses or whatever, it's a thing called a stage. Kids go through stages when they're younger, okay? So, you see a little boy that's wearing high heels, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be a girl. It just means, hey, I got mommy shoes on. they're too young to fucking be able to rap. And again,
I mean, half the time a
understand.
2-year-old can't even take a shit by
true.
themselves.
I do understand the argument of like sometimes they know who they are when they are younger, but at 4 years old, that is too early for them to say, you know what, I'm a girl. Now, if she was 10 years old when she first said that, or and then started doing the transition later, like maybe when she's like 14, 15, then I can understand it. But when she's in transition at 10 years old, that is child abuse to me. I'm sorry. It is.
Where do you draw the line between what you're going to believe a kid says and what you're not? So, in my honest opinion, if these people are like, she knew she was a kid, she knew as a boy, like a fucking biological boy, she knew that she wanted to be a girl. Where does it come to the point? You have to believe everything she says then. If you're going to believe that serious of a thing.
I will bring up Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
I'm going to go there myself, Gina.
Yes. Their daughter, Shiloh, for the longest time, she dressed like a tomboy because she said that she was a boy. She is now in her mid to late teens, and she went back and she started dressing in dresses and all that stuff again because she's out of that stage. Like, I'm not saying everybody that does this is in his stage. Maybe they do know who they are, but in my opinion, they should not be allowed to act upon who they are until they are at least the age of 18, because then they're an adult and they can make an adult decision to do so.
Let me ask this question.
Just before you ask your question, I'm also going to preface this with this also. His niece, his middle niece, Hayden, she's 11 years old. She turned to her father one day and said, I'm non-binary.
She did not have any idea what it meant.
Yeah. It doesn't help when they're being,
I don't even really know what it means.
I explained it to her and said, you know that non-binary means you don't associate with anything.
You're male, you're not female, you're nothing.
And she's like, oh, I'm not that. I'm a girl. Well, then you can't be fucking non-binary. You are a female.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not all
opposites of the spectrum there. It's just like, you gotta let children be children until they are old enough to understand what they are doing.
Children need guidance.
Yes, and that's the sad
part.
The
problem today is the children are not getting that guidance.
I was just going to touch
on
that.
No, the problem today is...
Oh my God, am I on?
Well, I haven't spoken in fucking 10 minutes.
Go ahead.
I did cut him off before he asked his question, so let him go first.
The problem today is this is being celebrated, not questioned.
Exactly.
I agree. And not only that, but, like as JP said, there's no guidance with children these days. Parents are too quick to put their children in front of the TV. Well, what's the media pushing right now? The media is pushing this stuff.
Go that far.
Oh, I would, because I know a lot of parents that are like.
I don't know if I would go that far, because I put my daughter in front of a TV.
Well, it depends on what's on the TV. Yes,
Connor,
join me.
Okay.
We are the parents, and yes, we do sit our child in front of YouTube. However, we always monitor what she is watching.
That's the ticket right there. See what I mean when I say that parents are too quick to put their kids in front of the TV. They're putting their kids in front of the TV. They're not monitoring what they're watching. They're seeing all of these TV shows, movies, ads, everything that are pushing this certain agenda. And then they're going to school, and they're getting, not in all schools, but in some schools, they are getting the same agenda pushed on them at school.
Mm-hmm. And I will tack on to that. This all really started with TLC, everybody's favorite, the Learning Channel, turned into reality smut.
Well,
putting out the TV show, Hi, my name is Jazz.
Yeah. That's where it all started.
My name is Jazz.
It's a trending thing.
Hear me roar.
And everybody wanted to watch it, and then they wanted to be like her because it was a popular thing.
I mean, the thing is,
you have to boy transitioning to be a girl by 9.
I don't understand. Like, we as grown adults need to understand the difference of mindset of an adult person versus a child. Think about when you were fucking 11. 10, 9, 8. Were you able to make any decision that should have stuck to you for that forever?
Forever,
I had
right?
no idea what the fuck sex even was at that
Well,
point.
and okay, so like you
But
look
like
at our
when you're inundated, like when they turn you into what this person has been turned into, this kid, and they start putting you in beauty pageants and telling you to dress like a girl, that's what you think you
You
should
are.
do.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at like, okay, our generation, the millennials, we are very famous for like, oh, our parents did this and we're not going to do this, right? Like I know a lot of people my age that are like that. And in one sense, it's okay for certain things, but there are other things where our parents did those things for our well-being and for what was best for us. You have parents out there that they literally, I love my best friend to death, but she does this with her son, and I have called her out on it so many times. She talks to him like he is an adult, and she asks him if something is okay. Which, yes, I understand that you want to get his opinion, you want to make sure that he's okay with that. That is great, but there are certain things that you do not, as a parent, ask your child permission for. For instance, like doing your homework. You don't say, honey, do you want to do your homework? You say, you need to go and do your homework now because that is your responsibility as a parent. But there are too many people that are raising children these days that are right around our age that are treating their children like they are adults with adult opinions. And that's not the fucking case. Like Basement just said before, we need to differentiate between an adult mind and a child's mind. A child is not going to process things the same way that an adult does.
I mean, half the people, not even half, more than half the people that have kids couldn't raise a fucking dog.
Exactly.
Yep.
They don't understand how discipline plays part, not just discipline, but like they need to look at you and know what's what.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm gonna say it, and I don't mean like when I say a hard upbringing, I don't mean abuse this and abuse that, and be like a hard upbringing to me is a more disciplined, more
where your parents treated you as their child
exactly,
and not their
like
best friend.
yeah, my upbringing wasn't this super fun fest with my parents, and
So,
I feel like most people like this is like in the end, I think we criticize, or the media criticizes our parents for raising us as millennials, but they probably did a better job than we're doing as a collective.
100% did. You know, and the thing is like you had to be okay. Listen, there's a few things in this world that I would say that I am really good at, but I am a damn good mom. Okay, I have good kids. I've heard from people that I have good kids, but I have good kids because
I'm a millennial.
yes, do I treat them like a friend sometimes? Yes, because you have to in certain situations. But in the same sense, my kids know. I've never had to like spank them or anything. They know that if I have a certain tone of my voice, and if I have a certain face and I have that tone, they know to knock their fucking shit off. And it's not because they got threatened or anything like that. It's just because they were disciplined when they didn't listen. So they started recognizing that voice as they grew older, and now I don't have to fucking ground them. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is just like raise my voice a little bit with a certain tone, and they're stick straight. Like they know.
But it also, like, for a lot of people, it doesn't stop there. It's now, if you look at like teachers in the education system, everybody is so like la-di-da, like fucking everything's fucking bubble gum and happiness. It's like, man, I had only a couple teachers in my life where they spoke, you listened. It wasn't physical in any way. It was just they commanded respect with the way that they carried themselves and the way that they taught. And that's really like what's, I think, severely lacking today.
And honestly, that's because when I went back to school, I was going to go to be a teacher. I've always wanted to be a fucking teacher. But that is the main reason why I did not go back for being a teacher, because teachers are not allowed to actually teach these days. Like they're not, because like if you have any kind of form of discipline in your class, like obviously not physical or anything, but if you make a child turn their desk around like we used to have to, or if you make a child go to the principal's office, or if you even slightly raise your voice at that child, you're going to have a hundred nasty parents sitting in that fucking principal's office demanding for your fucking head.
Yeah.
So here are the 7 generations right now. 1946 to 1964, the baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents are baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of them was. One's dead.
Mine as well.
Generation Jones, 1955 to 1965.
That's my parents.
That would be my dad.
Generation X, which is me, is 1965 to 1980.
JP, do you realize you're in the same generation as my mom?
You can kiss my ass. The Zennials
The fuck
are
that?
from 1970s, or Generation X, excuse me. So Generation X is 1965 to 1980.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are what is called Zennials, and that's Xennials. They are from 77 to 83.
That would be me then.
I'm not that.
The Millennials were born from 81 to 96.
So you could be a Zennial and a Millennial?
I'm
There's
so confused.
more.
Am I a Zennial or am I a Millennial?
It
depends on what you think you are. What do you
I
identify as?
I was born in 1983. By your definition, I am a Zennial and a Millennial.
Yeah, but which do you identify as? You're like a biracial kid.
Fuck that. I'm a Zennial. Like, I don't fucking claim the millennial shit.
Generation Z was 1977 or after. Now,
1997.
Did I say 77?
You did.
1997 or after. Now there is a new generation. It's called Generation Alpha.
Born 2010 or after.
So
Alpha,
right
you
now,
got your
we're
own
in
generation.
Alpha.
Hold on. Time out a second. My daughter is Generation Alpha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so what did you say was right before Gen? Like, what would 2002?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Okay.
Yep. So those are the 7.
I mean, nothing really matters.
Now, baby boomers. I can go through all the,
We're not going to. That's a whole fucking another show on itself.
They're retired. The baby boomers are retired.
I'm referring to my dad as a baby boomer.
They're the hippies.
So,
I still find it hilarious that my
I know, but I know my parents.
Okay. When it comes down to it, I wonder how many people, like populace, the whole of humanity, would approve of this 10-year-old transgender kid. And I did want to mention that she did not. There's nothing being on the fact that she's being told she's a girl. I do believe, like in the article or what I read, she's going to get puberty blockers at the time of puberty, and then eligible for taking her boobies away.
Giving her boobies, not taking them away.
So
giving her
boobies at 16.
Okay, so yeah, no. In my opinion, and I understand, like, okay, maybe this little boy does know in his heart of hearts that he is supposed to be a girl. That is fine. That is more than fine with me, okay? My issue comes at the fact that he is a minor and that they're talking about giving her boobs at 16. If you put a 16-year-old through any cosmetic surgery that is not necessary, in my opinion, that is fucking child abuse.
Now, technically,
I don't think it's going to be surgery. I think it's actually going to be hormonal introduction.
Well, technically, what they say is surgery is prototypically done at 18 or older, but can be done younger if the therapist, the parents, and I think it's just therapists and the parents agree that this is going to happen. So the parents and therapist, who's probably, I mean, I've seen some of these therapists. that deal with like transgender people, and they are in love with the
You're
idea
just
of
as
it.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Here's the
so
thing. This is just my opinion, okay? And I understand. You guys know how much of a fucking supporter I am of the Alphabet Mafia. I say it all the time, but in my opinion,
There's a big limit.
there is a huge limit, and not only that, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with being a transgender like without the surgery until he or she turns 18 years old. You can still cross-dress and be transgender without having the fucking surgery.
The easiest way to do it is shop where the drag queens shop, because they have these breastplates that you can put on that are fake boobs that you can take off at the end of the day.
yeah, but then it's
Exactly.
not you.
I can't
Dress
get
up.
behind this.
I mean,
I'm just gonna say this real quick, and I know. So, Gina, you said you're a Zennial. You were born in 1983, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A Zennial here is what makes up a Zennial: an analog childhood and a digital adulthood. So you are a Zennial.
Technically, I would be.
well, that's just stupid as fuck.
So then that should be to 86, because I was born in 86.
It should be.
All right. Well,
This is where separating the generations gets all fucked up.
I like when you.
Here's what I heard actually was like the Zennials is actually from like 1979 all the way up until I believe 1986 or 87, and then the Millennials kick in
It
88.
depends. It goes based on. It's based on a. You know how they do polls and shit.
Yeah.
And surveys. That's where they get their information from. That's all it is. That's what this one said. That's all. So you might be right. I'm just letting you know what a Zennial is. That's all. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alpha, you have nothing to really be embarrassed about. Just because you are in the millennial generation doesn't mean you are the entitled millennial generation.
So when we
Yeah, I'd say that the entitled millennial generation was the one that was born right around 90.
Raised you to not be a douchebag. You're a millennial, but that doesn't mean that you associate with them.
And not only that, but like, okay, you take Austin's generation. What the fuck was it called again?
Generation Z.
Yeah. So you take Gen Z, and a lot of times Gen Z is getting a lot of fucking slack, you know, because like they're the baby generation, right? Like they're the ones that act like they're entitled babies all the time. My son's not like that. You know, if anything, he acts like he's fucking older than I do half of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stereotype, is what they say.
We have a class, because so when I'm gone for a week, like when I'm on my trips, we actually talk about this. We actually talk about, you know, how to recruit volunteers for what we do, because they don't get paid for it. So how do you recruit a Generation Z volunteer? Social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How do you recruit a Generation X
It's kind of
person?
creepy.
Talking to them.
No, it's kind of creepy that you talk about how to recruit people.
It's to be volunteers for the units to help with
recruiting. It's more or less, do you want to volunteer?
Do you want to come and volunteer for this unit? Do you want to come volunteer for this unit? We're doing this, and this, and we need the help.
So you know what? You know how I would differentiate between a Zennial and a millennial? You ask somebody, did you or did you not
use a rotary phone?
Did you grow up using a rotary phone, or did you or did you not sit in front of the radio and wait for the DJ to play your favorite song so that you could hit the record button on the tape just right, and then wait for the song to play and then end it just in time before the DJ comes back on? That's how you tell a Zennial.
And that was just for your very first voicemail on your cell phone.
Didn't have a cell phone.
Oh man, no! I used to like to actually record like actual tapes like that on the radio.
As far as this child telling her parents what she is, I would knock her around, or him, or whatever.
I knock him around, you know, because
I think it's
that.
I don't think you don't tell me what you are. You are my child, and you will listen to me.
I think you're taking the opposite side. I think it's the parents telling the kid what the kid is.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and if
And
that's
running
the
with
case,
it, which is kind of
figured it was a
strange.
fine
And I mean, like we've all said, if they get to 18 years old and they decide, hey, I don't really feel this way.
I still feel this way that I told you I was a child. Fine.
Now I mean, I think there's a bigger, I think there's a lot bigger conversation about mental health and transgenderism that needs to happen instead of it
here's the
just
thing.
being labeled as brave and strong.
Well, we were just
Yes.
we were just discussing like the parents of Hollywood pushing their kids to do certain things. Unfortunately, there are parents that are pushing their children to do things like this because they know that it's going to make headlines and it's going to draw attention
And
to
it's
them.
not just headlines. It's not just headlines. Look at this.
100%.
This one landed a modeling career. Jazz landed
Exactly.
a fucking TV deal.
Exactly, so it's bringing in parents, or it's bringing in revenue.
I mean,
for parents.
this is where I don't understand why like authorities don't get involved. Because
What I said, it's fucking child abuse.
this is child abuse and child labor.
Child
This is
exploitation.
grooming. This is on top of all of that. This is grooming.
Yes.
This way, like, I don't get how the world like fucking. Depending on what we're talking about, that definition is not there. It's like
No,
it's
I-
kind of like you could look at things through an equal lens instead of like choosing which lens every time you want to look at something that you think matters more.
Here's the thing. If my daughter came up to me and said, Mom, I think I'm a boy, my first instinct would not be like, oh, okay, whatever. My first instinct would be like, why do you think that you want to be a boy? Like, what made you feel like this? Because you want to get to the root of like if that is actually how the child feels, or if that is what the child is like hearing from other aspects and other places about how they're supposed to feel. Because like unfortunately that's being pumped into our kids' brains. Like, oh, you should feel this way. Like it's okay to be a lesbian. It's okay to be gay. It's okay, which it is. Don't get me wrong. It is.
But at least
It
know
is
what you're
100%
talking about before you get to that conclusion.
Exactly. Like it is
Exactly.
110% to be. It is 110% okay to be whoever you are, whether you are gay, straight, transsexual, lesbian, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is, at the age of 10, they are not old enough. Lesbian, gay, maybe, but to make the decision to actually have, like, to go through a transition of your body at the age of fucking 10 is beyond grasp for me. I cannot wrap my head around that.
Like, let me say this: that's not happening here. It's just I don't think they've done anything to make this person more feminine. It's on the slate, basically. In a couple of years, there's going to be puberty blockers. A couple of years after that, we're going to give breasts.
But if my child at 10 years old came up to me, like when Austin was 10 years old, if he would have come up to me and been like, you know what, Mom, I feel like I should have been born a girl. Okay, but there's no way in hell that I would have ever let him. And by the way, my son is very, very much a boy, but there's no way in hell that I would have ever let him, or my daughter for that matter, go through any kind of transition until they were old enough to know that that's what they wanted for the rest of their life.
Can your fucking 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid tell you how to spend your earned money and what should be allocated to rent? No. So then in what world are they allowed to make a decision about what fucking gender they want to be?
I can't wrap my head around this because I won't even allow my daughter to stay home by herself. She's fucking 11. If I can't trust her to stay home by herself for 15 minutes while I run to the grocery store, can I trust her with something like this? No.
It's
what the fuck?
a bit ridiculous. But we've talked. We've talked.
We talked this to death, and I think Connor might have died.
Because that's what this topic does. It actually generates conversation, but nobody wants to listen to the full conversation and hear both sides of it.
So here's the thing. If you've paid attention to anything we've talked about, this is our world today.
It's terrible. And everybody in it is lost. Anyways, what's next, Connor?
I don't even know how to transition out of this one. A Florida man. It's always a great way to start off a sentence. A Florida man. I have to wrap my head around this article because I have to make sure I read this right and just make sure I understand this. A Florida man was convicted of a hate crime after he ran a black man's car off the road and tried to attack him. The victim knew mixed martial arts and put him in a chokehold until police showed up. Good stuff. Good stuff. A Florida man was convicted of a hate crime after exactly what I just said. Jordan Patrick Leahy, 29, was found guilty by a federal jury after prosecutors presented evidence that Leahy threatened a black man traveling with his family. According to a statement from the Department of Justice, on August 8th last year, he encountered the victim, named JT in the statement. As he traveled with his girlfriend and daughter, Leahy began to call JT racial slurs and use his car in an attempt to force JT and his family off the road. Leahy's pursuit of JT and his family nearly lasted a mile and a half before Leahy sideswiped JT as JT attempted to evade the attack. Leahy fled the scene of the accident, but stopped at the next red light. JT pulled behind Leahy at the light, and Leahy got out of his car, stormed at JT, and tried to assault him, again yelling racial slurs. Leahy tried to strike JT, who happened to practice mixed martial arts, and put him in a chokehold until police arrived. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
I'm gonna go with that. Probably is hate crime. Because that's probably what that guy
No, it's 100% a hate crime, but it's a crime with hate attached. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that I was the one that shared this in the thing, if I remember correctly. And the reason why I shared it was because I found it pure fucking straight up justice when this guy is like purposely trying to fucking now whether he was doing it because his family was black, I don't know.
Well,
but
I was yelling hate slurs and shit.
Yeah, right. But so that leans me towards yes, he was. But he's being a total fucking douche canoe, and this guy went all fucking Bruce Lee on his ass and put him in a fucking chokehold until the cops got there. So he got justice immediately.
So the guy could have cut him off, and he's angry because of that, and using racial slurs because he's a racist anyway.
I want to see this.
So it might not be a hate crime; it's a crime with hate.
I want to say this. I'm going to say this, and I'm just going to shut the fuck up and listen. Imagine the media. This is a story the media will not tell you. Why? Because
the black man wasn't fully victimized.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was vindicated, and karma had its due.
But that's why I shared it in the chat, and I wanted to talk about it because I had to fucking laugh. I had to fucking laugh because I was like, that dude got what he fucking deserved immediately.
I love these stories.
because you don't hear stories about this.
Yeah,
and this is one of those fucking stories that'd be like, maybe all of this other bullshit isn't fully always true, which you hear the mainstream media, it's fully always true that this is happening in the world today. Just shut the fuck up.
But this is just more proof that the only way that you are going to be victimized is if you allow it to fucking happen. So fine, there's victims out there. Let me reword that. Some people get victimized, but you know what I mean? Like this guy, he could have been a victim, but instead of cowering down and just waiting for the cops to get there, no, this guy was like, fuck you, dude, put him in a chokehold, choked his ass out until the fucking cops got there. So he
had his family with him, correct?
Yeah, he was protecting himself and his family. He was on the same team. Purely self-defense.
Exactly. But the media wants us to think that's not just black people, but there's certain people of every culture or women, we're victimized. We're always victims. All these people are all victims. You can be a victim of this, you can be a victim of that. And
She-Hulk flashbacks.
Yes, but in some situations, you have the opportunity to either decide whether you're going to be the victim or you're going to be the fucking badass survivor.
Oh, there's a problem. This society has created the people that will always be the fucking victim no matter what the situation. Hence the birth of the Karen.
Yeah, exactly. It's called my mom a Karen today.
I was brought up to not... I was almost going to say to not give a shit, but to not treat anybody any differently
exactly
than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If I did, my mom would literally fucking break my face. Like, she would bitch slap the fuck out of me.
I mean, I'll treat people differently if they deserve to be treated differently because they're a fucking
Exactly.
asshole.
Exactly.
My
If
mom
you're
always
going to be a
told me
douchebag, I'm going to
people-
treat you completely different than I would any other person.
But also,
Don't
I
give a
mean,
fuck who you
my
are.
mom like hammered that into my head. Like, and my mom always said, treat people the way that they treat you.
The way it was taught to me
Hammered
was
in my
you
head.
teach. The way it was taught to me is you treat the janitor the same way you would treat the CEO.
Exactly.
That's actually a very good analogy. You treat the mailroom boy the same way you treat the CEO.
you know,
But-
you'll see the janitor way
Okay,
more than
so,
you'll see
like,
the
I have-
CEO. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
But this
But,
is
like-
true. But you still.
Heather said everybody's turning into Karens these days. Like, I have a quick story. I actually called my mom a Karen today because, okay, we were sitting over at my mom's house, right? And these two little kids are like riding their bikes outside, and they keep on like riding their bike in a circle in my mom and dad's driveway, and my mom's like bitching, saying these fucking kids need to get out of my driveway, you know, blah blah blah, and she's like just bitching at them, and I was like, Mom, you're turning into like the neighborhood fucking Karen. Just calm down. And she's immediately like, no, you don't understand. If they get hurt, they're gonna sue us.
Yeah, but
But my mom and dad went through that once before with my childhood best friend's little sister. She got hurt on our property, and her parents tried to sue my parents, despite the fact that it wasn't my parents' fault. So like
did
they've
your
already been
parents
through it.
hurt the kid?
No, it actually she tried to sue my parents, but then
Oh, for what?
okay, so like here's the story. Okay, so like Katie was 2 years old, and my for some odd reason she wanted to go with my mom,
2 years
and I was
old.
over at their house. And so like my mom had no problem with it, so she took Katie because Katie like loved my mom, so she took Katie, and Katie was over at our house. Well, we had like one of those front porch swings, like the big swings that hang from the ceiling. And there was some neighbor kids over, and one of the neighbor kids like started rocking the swing really, really high and ended up flipping the swing. Well, Katie flipped off the swing and landed face first on the fucking ground and like mashed all of her fucking teeth in.
Did you record
Like my
it?
mom came.
It sounds like Katie needs to pull her head out of her fucking
Oh my! Well,
ass.
she was literally like a year and a half, 2 years old at this time. And my mom had literally just ran inside to get her something to drink really quick. But she wasn't outside. Like my mom and dad had an enclosed front porch, and these neighbor kids weren't supposed to be in the porch. But they came in anyway. But anyway, so long story short, her parents tried to sue my parents, and then my parents' insurance said, oh hell no, this wasn't their fault. So she ended up having to sue the mother of the little girl that flipped the swing, and they got like a shit ton of money or whatever. But because my mom has been through that already, now she's like so fucking paranoid about any child being on her property.
That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
She basically sued a kid.
No,
for
she's
being a kid.
She tried to sue her mother. She tried to sue Gina's mother, but then she found out through the insurance company that she actually had to sue the kid of the mother of the kid that pushed the swing.
Yeah, but
Yes,
the mother of
and
the
the
kid that pushed the
reason-
swing didn't push the swing. The kid did.
Right,
So
but
she
the
sued a kid.
did, and
The
and
kid
because-
is like 4 years old. You're not going to sue a 4-year-old.
well, here's
Well,
the thing.
technically,
like,
she was suing a 4-year-old.
Here's the thing. Like Kayla, the reason why Kayla's mom got sued is because Kayla was only like 5 or 6 at the time, and her mother was nowhere in fucking sight. So her mom actually got sued for liability of what Kayla did because she was not monitoring her child.
I hate this. This is such a millennial thing.
Well, yeah, but like,
It's not just a millennial thing, Basement. This is something here in the American culture where we get fucking paper cut and we have to sue the paper company.
In the
An
past,
alpha
a kid
thing.
would
You don't
fucking
understand.
fall on their
This is
face
not-
and bust their teeth, and you'd be like,
you don't under-
well, it's a
here's the
bad
thing.
Saturday.
No, here's the thing though. I can understand why Lisa sued because Katie's like her whole fucking mouth was just like destroyed. Like my mom, I still have that image in my head of my mom like flying down their driveway, and she got out because my mom didn't know what the fuck to do. So she got out and she had Katie in her arms, and there was just blood.
Like
I mean,
blowing out of
I
her
was around a
mouth.
kid that ripped his
so
nutsack
now
open.
kids can't-
Nobody
so
sued
I
anybody.
get it, like kids can't be kids. Accidents fucking happen.
Well, that's why
no,
stigma
no.
is from having just the wood chips or the
J-
cement underneath.
JP, accidents don't
You give
happen
up on that.
unless somebody
Hey.
pays for them.
Okay, but hold on. You have to understand.
No.
I know.
Yeah,
I can't
no, but-
stand it.
No, but here's the thing. Lisa was very Sue happy to begin with.
So Lisa sounds like a fucking bitch.
She
Well,
is.
actually she's a sweet lady, but yeah, she
I'll
was
tell you,
kinda
I'll
Sue
take you
happy.
across her, then she'll sue you.
And the whole reason why she threw the lawsuit was because their dental plan didn't want to cover it because it
Listen,
was
it's braces.
an accident
Dental
caused by
plan.
somebody else. But it was an accident caused by somebody else, so the dental plan wouldn't cover it, which is why the
I mean,
the
I
lawsuit
get
got
like
filed.
suing to pay for dental work.
Mm-hmm.
I would be,
That's what
but
it
I'm
was.
sure there's more
That's
than
what
that.
it was. No, that's what it was. They literally just wanted the dental work covered. That's it. So
Listen, it's
like
braces.
Kayla's mom ended up getting sued, and Sandy ended up having to pay whatever amount it was for the whole dental work, not just at the time, but like the follow-up visits and everything.
And this is where the whole, well, you can't hang out with her because she broke her face.
Oh,
Mhm.
you don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
understand. This was my childhood best friend's mom. And like this caused such a rift between our family that me and my best friend were not allowed to hang
Oh,
out for like fucking
story.
6 months.
Quick story. I got a
parents, it
real
was
quick
her
story. I promise, and it's along the same line. So my
Dental
mom,
plan.
my mom had a friend, right? She passed away just like, I don't know, Pat Killian. You've heard of her.
Yeah.
So
A few years
they had a daughter. Pat had a daughter. I think she was like 2 or 3 at the time. She was still in one of those bouncy chair things, the walkers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 9, 10, maybe. And she leaned forward, and the chair fell on the coffee table, and she started, she hit her throat, and she was choking. I'm 10 and I'm freaking the fuck out. I don't know what to fucking do. And my mom and her and Pat started arguing because I just stood there and freaked out. I didn't know what to do. So they ended up not being friends for a few years, and then they connected again. But it's just, that's one of those stories. That's what I'm talking about. But accidents fucking happen, people.
And that's
When
what
I
my
was a
mom
kid,
like
when I
to
was a kid, if somebody would have broke their face on a swing set, nobody got sued for anything. It was just kids being dumb.
And eventually they'd be known as Brokeface Bob or some shit. Like, it's just the way things worked.
I get it, though.
Larry with a limp. How'd he get the limp? Well, we broke his leg
like
back
that.
in 7th grade.
Like that legitimately sucked though, because it wasn't my parents, it was actually her mom was like pissed at my mom. So because of that, I was not allowed to hang out with my best friend for like 6 months. Like my mom didn't tell me that, her mom did. All because she was like mad at my mom.
Correct.
Such
So
is
what the
life.
fuck is wrong? And this is why we have the issues we do today.
This is why, like, they always bitch that like millennials are all like, we're all so coddled and all of this stuff.
You are.
Because of the fact that parents over the time,
Millennials are coddled.
because of the parents
I
from the
grew up
time of the
old
fucking
school.
playgrounds being sued repeatedly for injuries for kids being kids.
Yes.
I can
To
honestly,
today.
I can honestly sit here and tell you, my daughter is a millennial. I did not coddle her, but her mother did.
And her mother's mother.
My
So
mom-
I'm telling you right now, millennials are coddled.
I
Not
didn't.
all of them
Well, the
are,
thing
though,
is,
because
I
don't
didn't grow up
consider
like that.
myself I don't consider myself coddled.
You're
Then
one of
again,
the
I'm a
very
millennial,
few,
but
which is why millennials are labeled the way they're labeled.
Yeah, I
and
think
we also sorry, Basement, go ahead.
I think myself and whoever else wants to join me are like we are the start of millennials. We're so
Yeah,
we're as much of the old
Yes.
guard
Yes.
than we are of the new guard. I mean, like when I think of millennials, I think of people of 5 to 8
Mid to
years
early
my
20s.
younger.
I
No.
think of people like born right around 1990.
I put it to you like this. Do you know what the problem with the millennials are? Is my generation, all we cared about is getting fucking stoned and drunk and what party we were in.
That's my parents. So,
But
I'm
so
not gonna fucking lie
yeah,
to you. I've said this numerous times. I mean, I was the same way, even though I didn't go out and party very much. But that's what the fucking problem is. My generation, I can tell you, I was going to another class, and one of the kids in my class pulled an ounce of weed out of his locker and threw it down the hall to one of his buddies. It hit a teacher in the back of the head. The teacher picked it up and threw it back to the fucking.
Yeah, see, and
Like,
I
what
think
the fuck is this?
the millennial generation is where suing started to become a trend, and then it kind of got worse after that. So like, and yes, there are like, okay, my mom coddled me in some aspects, but she was also like, she was always like a gentle mom, but in the same sense, she also knew when to fucking put the hammer down too. You know,
You are one of what I'm saying is that you and Basement, Heather, and I don't know about Connor.
Yeah.
But the very few. Lucky, because if Heather was raised like a fucking true millennial, like my daughter, I would probably
Wendy would not exist.
Probably throw her out a window.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy to see how such a large, because like if you think about it, the millennial generation is like pretty much one of the biggest generations, because there is such a gap, you know, between the years.
Because of my generation, all we wanted to do was fucking party.
But it's really strange because, you know, when you hear people like call, oh, well, fucking millennials or whatever, you automatically go, hey, what the fuck? You know, because technically, like, I'm classified as a millennial. But like JP said, we're the older generation of millennials. So my opinion, that Zennial, it should be extended to like 1990, and then the millennials should take over. It's just my opinion.
It's one of those things. I know we're talking about the fucking guy, but it all ties in. To be honest with you, it all ties
so about
in.
that Florida man.
Look, this guy deserved to get choked out.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like
I applaud the man for doing it.
I love it. I fucking loved this story so much.
It's what that guy was doing was probably, like Basement said, a crime with hate attached.
I don't know. It could be a hate crime. If his whole reason to run him off the road was that he was black man, then it's a hate crime.
When I see you, I'm just gonna punch you.
You know what though? Like it literally it made me.
That's a hate crime.
It made me like laugh because I could just picture it in my head. Like, can you guys not picture this in your head? Like, this guy's acting like a total badass trying to run this person off the road, and then he gets him put in a fucking.
I've seen a lot of those videos. The karma videos are the best.
Oh my god! Like, he got instant fucking karma. Instant.
Mm-hmm. That's what you want.
I love it. Bravo to you, JT sir.
That's all I got.
It's Justin Timberlake.
What I love is when we all first got on the call, and before we started the show, the first words out of Basement's mouth were, "We all have kind of pretty stupid stories to share tonight, yet we've already had numerous multi-length conversations off of
It had nothing to do with the original fucking news article that kept brought up.
But it all ties in. It does all tie in. I hate to say it. It all ties in. It really does.
Anyway.
I'm sorry.
It's a
What's next,
patchwork.
What's
Come
next,
on,
Connor?
please, God, save us.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of funny stuff, let's talk about the. This is just bizarre. I heard a little bit about this, but this is just bizarro to me.
This is
Apparently,
bizarre as the elephant story, or
no, I don't think it's as bizarre as an elephant ripping somebody in half. Comedians Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears accused of child sex abuse. So, during their childhoods, Jane Doe and her younger brother, say they called Tiffany Haddish Auntie Tiff. The comedian had met their mother through the comedy circuit and used to refer to her siblings as her niece and nephew, but in a lawsuit filed pro se on Monday night, in which Jane is an anonymous plaintiff on behalf of both herself and her brother, who is a minor, the siblings allege that Haddish and her fellow comic Aries Spears recruited each of them to perform inappropriate acts on camera when they were children. The Jane Doe, now 22, and her younger brother John, now 15, have adopted pseudonyms due to their respective ages at the time of the allegations. The siblings' complaint, which names Haddish and Mad TV alum Aries Spears as defendants, centers on 2 alleged incidents in which Haddish and Spears allegedly encouraged one of the siblings to perform sexually suggestive acts on camera while underage. Jane was 14 years old when the alleged video shoot took place, and John was 7. Their mother alleges that she and Haddish met through comedy and bonded over a shared source of strife. In the summer of 2013, when Jane was 14 years old, the lawsuit stated that she attended a comedy camp where Haddish appears as a guest speaker. It goes on and on. The business says the clip Spears and Haddish asked Jane to watch in the recording booth allegedly seemed innocuous at first, if not a little strange. Apparently, they were watching some sort of video. I'm not going to go into the whole detail of it, but basically,
No, the devil's in the details.
no.
Is it as bad as?
Was it like,
People would
what
think.
did
Like,
they
I
make her
think-
watch
Fuck it.
video? Or?
And did they
All
make
right.
them actually watch full out porn or?
No. I'll just
They
read
have
this.
to
I'll-
watch
I'll
Mad
barrel
TV?
through this. Bring him the season. The clip Spears and Harry asked Jane to watch in the recording booth allegedly seemed innocuous at first, if not a little strange. A group of co-eds were arguing over a Subway sandwich, but then the co-eds began eating the sandwich in a suggested manner from opposite ends, moaning and making sexual noises. They both ate the sandwich in a manner that stimulated that of fellatio. The complaint claims that Spears told Jane to mimic what she had seen on the screen, including the noises precisely like what she had heard through the video. The 14-year-old, who alleged was nervous and disgusted, fell silent until Haddish returned to the room. Haddish verbally explained what was expected of plaintiff Jane Doe, and then showed plaintiff Jane Doe how to give fellatio, including movements, noises, moaning, and groaning. At that point, I knew 100% that they wanted out of me, physically, emotionally, and mentally uncomfortable. I tried to mimic what they wanted me to mimic, but it still came out just super uncomfortable. I knew when I left the booth that I didn't complete what they wanted me to. Haddish paid Jane $100, the lawsuit claims, before sending her home.
Why is everybody in Hollywood a fucking pedophile?
That's how they make their money.
Well, the
I
way
think that's how they
I was
spend their
listening,
money.
I was so with me. I'm listening to this story, and all I got out of that was Subway sandwich.
She said, pretend like you're sucking a dick,
Subway
kid.
sandwich, and I was like, so this 14-year-old is going to
Mimic like she's
no,
pretty much.
no. So
Yeah.
where I thought it
Fixated
was
on
going,
sandwich.
I'm fixated on sandwich. So when I take a bite out of a Subway sandwich, depending on what it is, I am actually going to go, oh.
Now, tell me how you suck a dick.
Remind me to never eat Subway around JP, like ever.
I'm going to tell you
You're
right
not
now. I'm going to tell you
listening.
right now. In the entire time I have known him and we have eaten a Subway sandwich, he has never made that noise.
But if it,
He never came in his
you've heard
pants
me
subtly.
go, oh, it's so good.
It wasn't off.
Especially if I'm fucking hungry as fuck. But then it turned into, she turned to her and said, "This is how you get fellatio."
I didn't
So,
think it was going to be that way.
My thing on this whole thing is this is an accusation, correct? It has not been proven.
Right.
Not yet, but it is in the court system.
Okay, so it is going. Look, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Innocent
You believe
until
it
proven guilty,
100%.
man. Innocent until proven. If they're guilty, fucking lock them the fuck up.
Yeah,
When did this happen?
Years ago, because the girl is
I
22
don't
now.
like
and she
Tiffany
was 14
Haddish.
then.
I don't like Tiffany. I thought Aries
I fucking
Spears
hate
was pretty
Tiffany
funny.
Haddish.
Aries Spears, I thought he was
I-
funny. Tiffany Haddish is a fucking idiot.
I can't
It was
stand
about
her.
8 years ago.
No, she's
Such-
dumb shit. She's
I
an
can't
idiot.
stand her. Like, there's certain comedians I like, and her comedy
What
just
was
falls
she
on
in?
deaf ears to me.
She thinks she's funny and she's
She was
really
stand up,
not.
and then she was in a couple of movies and stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen any.
You know who she.
She was in a movie called Night School with Kevin Hart.
Never seen it.
Don't watch it. It's the dumbest fucking movie.
I don't think I've ever seen her in anything but this GIF.
Basement. Have you ever seen the movie Girls Trip?
No. Why would I watch that?
Okay. What about?
Science.
Actually, that's actually a really funny movie. She was in the Lego movie. She was in Haunted Mansion. She was in the movie
Yeah, I saw
Uncle
Haunted
Drew.
Mansion, but I clearly have not remembered it.
Yeah, she was in Uncle Drew. She's more known for her fucking comedy, which is,
Not
in
funny.
my opinion,
mean-
not funny at all.
I know of her. Let's say that. Aries Spears, she wasn't bad in Mad TV every now and then, but it just
She's a little too like brash for me.
The thing about Mad TV, it was Saturday Night Live. So Mad TV,
it
if
was
you remember
actually
Mad
better than
Magazine-
Saturday Night
Mad
Live.
Magazine,
For a while,
honest.
yes. For
Right
a
there
while.
with
Mad
you.
Magazine is a spoof magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So
like
it makes
Mad
fun of
TV.
fucking movies, not on a movie. And they did Mad TV, which is just a bunch of skits. Like
mean-
Stewart.
Stewart-
Mad
Fucking
TV.
great. I love Stewart.
Mad
For
TV
me,
was
for
way better than
Sorry.
SNL, and SNL just continues to kill itself.
okay, but here's the thing. Like at the time, SNL and Mad TV were both good. Like they were both good in the
I
90s.
agree.
But
But it's like
there
the WWE thing. As soon as
See, I
WCW
watched-
disappeared, WWE became shit.
I watched Mad TV a little bit more just because Mad TV. I was a teenager at that time, so Mad TV drew me in a little bit more because they had this whole Stewart skit and then the fucking Chinese lady. So those were funny to me. And SNL, it was always a little bit more adult humor, I guess.
SNL was not adult humor.
SNL was
SNL
It was
more
more
like-
politically charged humor,
Yeah.
and they really fucking dug their grave with that one. When humor
Right.
only was
And
acceptable when it could be
also-
about politics in the last 5 years, it's been terrible.
Basically, she was also on My Name Is Earl. It's Always Sunny
Didn't
in
watch it.
Philadelphia, and
She
she
was
was
on
in
that?
Meet the Spartans.
God, that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know who she played in
SNL.
Always Sunny because she must have been a one-off character.
Stripper number 3.
So she
Oh,
barely.
I remember her.
must not have had a big part.
It was a guest role.
I don't remember any
Yeah.
prostitute.
No, stripper number 3. I said.
Oh, I
She
remember
did
all
play
them.
a prostitute though on a skit apparently.
But yeah, like I don't know. Back to like Mad TV and SNL, they were. I don't know.
You want to talk about prostitutes?
Not really.
So Tiffany Haddish is not funny.
She's not. I watched her on Shark Week. I didn't even bother watching any of
Oh
her
my
comedy
god!
specials.
I seen
She's
that episode
very-
of
Shark Week. Oh my god,
She-
terrible.
Oh my god, she was fucking horrible in that. Like she was like, "Is that shark gonna eat me?" Yes, please let it.
I would
And
also
then she
say
fucking sits there. Before they even get in the water, she sits there. It's like, oh, we gotta get in the water. All right, hold on. Whoosh, she be ready. No,
was just
honey,
really
don't,
bad.
don't.
Oh, yeah.
She was taking out her
Everything
boobs and
you,
shit, but
yeah.
Stripped off the wig.
Yeah, she was stupid. It was
all,
stupid.
all of that sounds terrible. Aries Spears,
Horrible.
he's okay, but
Funny. He can be.
he was somewhat funny in Mad TV era, but I haven't seen this man for fucking 10, 15 years. I don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Apparently, like I said, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, you can't really.
I'm not saying that they aren't. I could probably see Tiffany.
I'd
Haddish.
also say, like, how are they ever going to prove this?
Well, the thing is
Those
they were
surface.
recording her. They were
Is
recording
there
her.
a video of this? That's look. Is there a video of it? That's the only way you can prove anything anymore, unless they have witnesses.
But but you guys, in today's day and age, don't you know you don't need to prove anything?
Well,
That's
this
also
is
true.
In the victimhood, yes.
And
That's
speaking
what-
of the
that's what-
victimhood, you know
that's
who
what
else was
irritates me.
involved?
But
This
that's what fuck. Sorry.
babe.
So I literally accidentally touched somebody one time. He says, "This guy touched me." Okay, did he touch you? How? Well, he touched my shoulder. Okay, it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
It-
it's beyond the point of acceptable. But what I wanted to point out was Aries Spears did also call out Lizzo. And all he said is like she looks like a pile of mashed potatoes, and that ain't it.
All right.
And people hated on him because Lizzo is body positive, super popular.
She is body positive. I like Lizzo.
But why?
From what I've seen of her videos of her Lizzo, what I've seen of her videos reacting to people trying on her new shapewear, she seems like a really fun person to just be around.
What the fuck is she
Yeah.
doing?
Playing
She's
the flute.
playing the flute.
Why?
Because she was doing a live
she-
performance on the VMAs.
her music and stuff is very body positive. She sends out a positive message, and like I love the message that she sends out, where like you don't have to be a fucking because you know what, we all grew up in an era where like in order to be fucking, if you were
You
a
had to be
girl,
this
in order to
skinny.
be
You had to
pretty,
be
you
this
had-
skinny to be noticed.
Yeah. Because the supermodels in our era, the supermodels were fucking 98 pounds normally, but then they would Photoshop them down to make them look like they were 77 pounds for magazine covers. So like,
I think people
happen to
forget
love the fact
that.
of what Lizzo stands for, because I love the fact that there's people out there these days that are pushing for more equality, and like you can still be beautiful no matter what fucking size you are.
Why do we need music about body positive?
Because there's more fat shaming going around. There's people
Who
out there.
gives-
There's people
I don't
out there
think-
that will sit there and say Wendy's too fucking fat and she
But
needs
you
to
know
be-
what? Okay,
Well, when Wendy, I'm gonna tell you right fucking now. People that she's buying into the fact that I'm fat. I got to make music videos about me being fat.
it's not. But her music isn't.
I'm already
just
on it for me.
About, her music isn't just about that. Like she does. It's not
What,
just.
my question
about
is,
body,
would she
body
be
positivity and all that.
popular if she wasn't fat?
I think so. Yeah.
If she went from a fat woman to a slender woman, do you think her audience would not turn on her?
Miss Elliott's audience didn't.
Yeah, I actually
they
don't
did.
think that they would, because like
Actually, they
she's not preaching the fact that like you have to be big to be beautiful or anything
No,
like that.
no,
She's
but
preaching
she's.
that everybody is to be treated the
That's
same
not
way.
what I'm saying,
But
dude.
like I understand, but like okay, so you asked what
Why did
like
why
our music is
why
gonna do. Okay, so like
why?
here's the thing. Okay, you take a person like myself when I was a teenager, okay? Super low self-esteem. I listened to music all the fucking time. We just discussed this the other night. I grew up, music was my fucking outlet, right? And I'm looking at all of these magazines and these TV shows and all this stuff, and all I see are all these fucking skinny bitches just being shoved down my fucking throat. I would have loved to have had an artist like Lizzo that doesn't just show body positivity, but sings about it and sings
Why
stuff
though?
that it's widely accepted to accept who you
Yeah.
fucking are. It's a good image to set for girls
I
and
don't.
boys.
It might be as good as it is harmful, because
How
certain
do you
people.
figure it's harmful?
Well, because certain people will look at this and not realize a change needs to be made.
What change? What like? Okay, but like,
Now, I could see the harmful side of it, because then you'll have these girls that are literally eating their emotions, continue just eating their emotions, and get to the 1,000-pound life.
where
Well,
they're
I'm feeling
no matter how
like-
big I am, I'm gonna be beautiful.
There has to be a proper balance.
Yeah, I feel like.
Be a balance. You know, you can be a little on the heavier side as long as you remain
Well,
healthy.
you look at
When
this
you get to
woman.
the point that you're not healthy anymore, then you need to make the change.
You
Right.
look at this woman and she's like performing live. She's not in terrible shape. If you're in terrible
No.
shape, you cannot perform live. That's bottom
Right.
line. Is it ain't gonna happen. She might be big, but whatever. But I feel like there's a fine line between like telling people your body size is okay if you're healthy, but also being like you're fine being unhealthy forever. And this is the same thing with supermodel. Like Gina, this is the exact same fucking idea of the super skinny people.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, so like, okay,
All Aries Spears really said is
so
he doesn't enjoy her physically, and somehow that's like
This is his-
something you can't. But something you can't say anymore. You
that's
see like the problem
The
there.
dumbest fucking thing in the world.
That's the problem with today's society, because everybody has a fucking mob mentality. If somebody doesn't like the way,
It's not just mob mentality. It's like the idea that certain things it's certain things can't be talked about ever.
right, And you know the only way that you're ever going to solve the issues is to actually fucking talk about them.
And not be insulting about it.
Exactly.
But nobody wants to have that conversation ever.
And you know what? This is why I stick to my guns about debate should be a fucking. It should have to be taken in every fucking school.
Where we live, that is a thing.
And
Well, yeah,
like
you
it was
do,
on
but-
90% of other schools, though, it's not.
it was
It's the
part
big-
of a class
So when
that was
people say
not needed,
things like-
even though
when
it should be.
When you hear things like that, you don't hear about the smaller communities.
No, you don't.
You always hear about what's going on in fucking New York City, or what's going on in fucking Madison, Wisconsin, or what's going on in Los Angeles, California. That's where everything is at. You know what? Shut the fuck up.
He actually,
It's not.
we took debate class. Well, we did. Okay, so we did a little bit of debate in like history class because like we would get in groups and debate like what was right and what was wrong about this or whatever. But we focused more like in my economics class. For some odd reason, they attached debate to that. So like half of it was economics, but then the other half was debate, and we would have issues all across the board about everything. And I think that needs to be required, not even necessarily in another class. Debate should be a thing that is required by its fucking self. Like debate.
The class itself is not a requirement, but it is taught in English around here.
And I will tell you
like-
why your school attached it to economics, because when it comes to spending with governments, it's always a
Don't
big
get me fucking
debate
started on that
about
shit.
what they
Right,
should spend
right.
money on and what they should not spend money on. So
No.
with
Right.
debate being part of economics makes complete sense. However, when it came to my schools, debate was not a class. You had to sign up for a debate club
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
take it
no,
as an
Which
extracurricular.
is fine.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, debate club is fine too, but like I think that it should be a required class because this is what's happening in today's society right now is exactly what happens when people do not know how to properly debate.
I think
No.
I disagree with that. I think it should be a part of English class. I don't think it should be a class. You go to
Why would
college.
debate be a part of English class?
I mean,
Debate
I
has
think
nothing-
debate can be a
English
part
is
of.
part of communication. If you,
I-
if you
yeah,
can't speak
communication.
proper English, how are you going
I-
to communicate?
Sorry, Nathan,
So
sorry.
I think debate can be part of any class. But to go back on point here, the reason I brought up the whole Lizzo thing, it's yes, I'm on board with like if you live healthy, no matter what you look like, it doesn't matter. So I don't think you should automatically assume that just big people are terrible and unhealthy. But the reason I asked about Lizzo and if she lost weight, how popular she would be. Think about all of the other people that were famous, that were big. Chris Farley. I'll even go
Well,
far.
Chris Farley died
Jonah
before
Hill.
he could lose the weight.
So I'll
Here's
even
the
go.
thing.
I'll even go with
Jonah
Jonah Hill and Galifianakis. These people lost popularity when they lost weight.
Yes,
Seth
you do.
Rogen too.
With
Seth
Jonah Hill, he lost the weight and became a fucking dial tone. He lost all of his personality.
My issue with the whole fucking bullshit. What's not to say that she'll lose weight and she's like, fuck fat.
Well, I actually
Yeah.
think this was like there was a thing already about this.
That's Hollywood for you.
Like somebody
just
Google
fucking
it,
celebrity.
but Lizzo was like on some healthy eating diet or something like that, and people were like, "Well, I can't be with her anymore. I can't stand her."
See, here's the thing. Okay, so like,
It's like the idea of everybody loves John Belushi when he's on coke.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you have a favorite musician or whatever, and you're like they're like your fan favorite, you know, you love them to death. If you can't get behind them being healthy, then fuck you.
But how much
Like,
of
you're
her fan base
selfish
is
as
built on that? That's the actual
I mean, if you're an
issue. It's
actual
like-
true, yeah, I get what you're saying, Basement. If you're an actual true fan of somebody, whether it's an actor, a person, a fucking,
I mean, there's
singer, whatever, you're gonna want them to be healthy.
there's a
Because
guy
They're
on
around
YouTube.
for a long time to continue enjoying their
Exactly.
form of
There's a
entertainment.
guy on YouTube that's eating himself
This
to
is why
death.
I'm not a fan of anybody.
And he's got to continue eating himself to death, otherwise people won't watch him.
Yeah, see that I don't know. That's just fucked up.
This is why I'm not a fan of anybody.
I'll be right back.
I hate people.
Hey,
Well, everybody hates everybody.
I am fucking 1000% with you.
People are.
There's certain people I like, but there's billions of people I hate.
I'm the same way, and that's why I will never go back to physically working retail. Yes, I'm selling Mary Kay and Scentsy, but you know what? I can talk to those people online. If they get on my nerves, I don't have to sell to them anymore.
There's a block button.
Exactly. If I have to work physical face-to-face retail, I'll probably end up going to fucking jail for punching somebody in the face. Especially with these fucking Karens that are just springing up everywhere. Oh, why don't you have the product that I want? I was coming here today just for that specific product.
You should have been here yesterday, dumb shit.
I mean, this is why, like,
I'd be fired for saying that.
I wish I just was able to carry around a machine gun. Not everybody else, just me. So in person, when people talk shit, I'd be like, well, it's either me or my MP5.
Carlin did a great, I know I quote him a lot, but Carlin did a great thing where he was like, you know, when it comes to road rage, he goes, you just wish you had a rental car for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I would just love to look somebody in the face and say, yes, I'm the customer service department, and this is the complaint department. Oh, and I pull out a submachine gun.
Hold on. Have you heard about the guy who makes fake Facebook company profiles and responds to people's complaints?
I have heard about that. It's fucking hilarious.
Have you heard about this?
I have not heard about this.
Oh. You're going to love this. So this guy beautifully creates fake Facebook profiles that have the illusion that they are a customer service page that responds to comments of people complaining about that like company. So for example, like Walmart customer support. And oh my God, I got to find some of these to show you because these are
they are so good. Oh my
God.
It's between him and all these people that are sitting there recording themselves with these cold call spam callers or the fucking
I remember working
solicitation calls.
I remember
welcome to City Morgue. City Morgue and Pizzerias. You kill them, we fry them.
It's even better than that.
Like I remember working at Rogers, which is the telecommunication company here, and being like, at the beginning it was fine, and then a new CEO took over, and he's like, "Well, this is the script we want you to read," and I'm like, "So what if the script gets me into a place where I'm gonna have to take control of the conversation?" They're like, just go back to the beginning of the script.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why am I doing this, not Alexa? Because the funniest part was, it's like, well, I understand how you feel about this. And I know, it's like, okay, you don't think, I think you might be retarded. Because if everybody under your business model is saying the exact same thing, the moment I get disconnected with this customer, or this customer calls back a week later, 2 days later, they're going to be like, good fucking God.
So there's this one.
I'm sorry you feel good fucking God. But
there's this one where this guy posts to a McDonald's Facebook page and it says, this morning I ordered a porridge from the drive-thru that was asked to park in bay parking. Took 5 minutes to arrive, making me late for work. And when opened, it was lukewarm. How hard is it to have porridge ready in the morning? Now, the customer support responds and says, how hard is it to get your Goldilocks ass up a bit earlier in the morning?
Yeah, like,
to which the guy responds,
fucking porridge.
I'm actually speechless, to which the customer responds with, I wish you were.
Like 100%. Some of these people were fucking so
there
terrible.
Should be certain times of the year that retail workers are allowed to tell these customers exactly what these customers need to fucking hear. Because I know during Christmas time, people would roll up on Christmas Eve at Harley, and we were literally locking the doors as they were walking up the fucking walkway to the doors. I just want a gift card. I just want a gift card. I just want this. I just want that. Fuck you. It's Christmas Eve. We are going the fuck home to our families. You get back in your fucking car and go the fuck home.
You know what?
So I just want to point out, everybody, that I have to listen to this like 8 hours a fucking day from her.
I got another good one here. This one, a guy posts on the TGIF Fridays UK thing. Would just like to say a big thank you to Susie, who served us at TGIF Fridays Corner House, Nottingham last night. She couldn't do enough for us and was excellent with the kids. She deserves a big pat on the back. The Jack Daniel's sauce was also as delicious as ever, so it was actually a compliment. So the customer support says, I'm afraid we had to let Susie go. We caught her shitting in the Jack Daniel's sauce again. If she shows up to her disciplinary, we'll be sure to pass it on. Thank you so much for the feedback, and we hope to see you again soon. To which the person responds, I don't understand as a company why you'd say that even if it was true. Please tell me this is some sort of fake news. And the customers, the fake customer support says, unlike Susie, I shit you not.
Oh, that's really good.
It's great. Okay, so these are the kinds of things, and I don't know. I think they were from New York. The two guys, they would prank call people.
The Jerky Boys.
God. Remember, yeah.
I can't remember what they did, and they like prank call like a fucking.
Is it the
pizza
Jerky
place.
Boys?
Yes.
They were not from New York.
Oh well, wherever them two were fucking.
They were close to New York. That's for damn sure.
I got one last one. A guy posted McDonald's had the worst chicken sandwich ever.
Oh, they were from New York. Okay.
His name was Richard Winchester. He goes, had the worst chicken sandwich ever, was completely dry, and for some reason the bread had grease on it. Had to throw it in the bin and was left with just the chips. I got from drive-through on way to work, so I couldn't return it. I expect a refund. A refund. Sort yourselves out. This shouldn't happen.
I expect a refund. He's at home fucking tweeting. What a dumb cunt.
The customer support says, your name is an anagram of shit sandwich. What are the chances? To which he says, you can't speak to me like that. I want an address for your head office to take this further. Also, you're an S short, so you are not so smart, are you? To which the customer support responds, and you're a sandwich short of a picnic, quite literally.
I fucking every job I've ever worked that is customer service, when people are like, I want the manager, I want the address of the president, I'm like, no.
That was one of the best things.
Or the best part is,
we
like,
could sit there and say,
is.
you want the owner? Okay, fine, I'll go get him. He's in the office right there. But what do you mean? Every dealership is a privately owned dealership. You dipshit.
My mom.
The funniest thing is, like, when I went on, like, working for the fucking regional government, I went on there, I looked at the, like, head of the chair, and I was like, here's her name. Here's how you send them an email. Have fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking with you. This is, like, they have approved me doing this. So, I don't know what you're going to do, but
My
go
mom
for it.
will. My mom will, like let's say we're in Walmart or something, and she doesn't like something, and she will say something so fucking loud right in front of the Walmart workers or whatever, and I literally want to bury my head. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, Mom, you're like one of those retail Karens. Could you like not, please? And my dad does it. Hey, Austin and we love my dad, but we don't like going out to eat with my dad anymore because my dad is one of those ones that will talk shit about the fucking waiters loud enough for them to fucking hear. And I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna spit in our food. They're gonna fucking spit. Shut up.
See, and that's where your mom and I would actually get into it if I was one of the Walmart workers. Like, listen, bitch, I'm paid minimum fucking wage. You come and do what I do. Deal with the same people that you are, and then we'll fucking talk.
Gina, you are like doing a terrible job of selling your family to anybody.
No.
It's like she's a Karen at Walmart and head of Walmart. It's like, okay,
no.
But there are literal Facebook posts of Walmart holding food drives so that they're fucking employees.
For me,
eating dinner.
Let me clarify. My mom is actually a fucking amazing woman. She's really awesome, and she only does that if the situation calls for it.
Does the situation never call for it?
Actually, it does, because our Walmart workers here are jackasses. Like, they are totally.
I don't know. I mean, personally,
right now, that's under certain.
And not only that, but my mom worked at that Walmart before, so like, she knows them all, so they basically just.
I
you
mean,
know,
personally, like
whatever.
having worked so many terrible jobs, I know that like half of what you're angry at is not the person you're angry at.
No, my
And
mom only does that if she has like a legitimate fucking excuse to do it. Like if something happens right there and it pisses her off. Like it's not like she's just snapping about anything and everything. No, she's not going around doing that. But like if something
Rue?
happens and,
Rue, to your point there, real quick, not every Walmart employee is making that money though.
Nope.
he also works
Actually-
nights,
actually-
so
One
he's
of
got
his
premium.
friends is working there, and she's barely making it.
actually most Walmarts, their minimum wage has gone up to at least $17, $18 an hour.
Nope, not here.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but that's yeah. I keep on forgetting Paige over 18.
You
now.
almost lost that gun.
I work at Walmart.
No, I'm
Paper-
meaning it plural. But yeah, my mom only does that like if the situation absolutely calls for it. And I got to
I can-
admit, like most of the time, I would actually probably do the exact same thing if I was in her position. But meanwhile, I'm I'm over here and I'm like, Mom.
I can tell you from me, like personally, if I'm ever in a situation where somebody treats like staff like shit, I don't want anything to do with you. Ever.
Agreed.
And I mean, I
I
get like staff being shitty, but very rarely, like 1 in 1 million, are they shitty to the point that they're actively trying to get fired because of how shitty they are.
See, you have to, in order to understand the concept behind this, you have to know the people that work at our Walmart. The people that work at our Walmart are fucking jackasses. Like, they don't give a fuck. They will literally pick up a box. Let's say you go.
Why would they give a fuck? It's a
No,
Walmart.
listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Because it's a fucking job. Like, it's their fucking job, okay? Somebody orders something off of Walmart.com and you have it where you're going to pick it up, right? You don't take that box of whatever it is and just basically throw it.
Okay, Gina,
I
in that
have this feeling
situation,
that-
guess what? FedEx, the post office, UPS, and every other shipping company
mom-
does the exact
my
same
mom-
thing.
My mom and myself have both chewed out FedEx, UPS, and US
I'm
postal
not- I'm
workers
saying-
as well for throwing our fucking boxes
I'm
because
seeing a
you
trend
don't know
here. I'm seeing a trend
you
here,
don't
Gina.
know-
It's
you
not
don't know
good.
what-
It's not in your favor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the fucking FedEx guy comes and throws my box on the
Why does
fucking-
everybody
on-
you deal with
on my thing?
shitty?
The FedEx guy comes and throws my box, just like fucking hurls it at my door, not knowing what's inside of it.
I'm starting to see a common denominator.
Well, you know what? You want to call me a fucking bitch? Then go ahead and call me a fucking bitch because I'm going to. Listen. It is your job. I understand you have a shitty day at your. I understand you have a shitty day at work.
But how's
Guess what?
everybody throwing
Everybody
shit?
has- Because people around here are fucking dicks. That's why. But like, no, seriously, at our
Starting
Walmart,
to
if-
question what you're saying.
then question away. I don't give a flying fuck. At our Walmart, they will literally throw your fucking box at you.
When I go to this fucking restaurant, they throw my food at my face.
Did I say restaurant? No.
You
I
might
said
as well
people hand
at this
me
point.
boxes. You're turning me into a Karen. You better shut the fuck up.
I mean, at
Oh,
Walmart,
God,
when it
she's
comes to
attacking me!
picking up
No,
box-
I'm
when it comes to picking up something, ours has that tower section right at the front of the store where you go up.
Good.
I just
Go
get
up,
like
show them your receipt or show them the email verifying your order, and they open up the box that has your box in it, and
So-
you take it out yourself.
The grill I bought, you know, the boys, they're like, I'm so sorry because they thought they had to they thought they broke my door.
See?
I've very rarely, like, I've literally, like, I've been behind somebody. It's like, you know, the girl
Bitchy and all that,
they're
'cause they're-
scanning and the fucking customer's sitting there and they're just like, why are you know, they have that look on their face. You want to fucking hurry it up?
You're taking
It's
too
not like-
long. You need to
it's
scan my
not-
order now.
It's not like the fucking scanners work all the fucking time. Sometimes
I'm
if
always.
you have a fucking issue, go through the fucking. That's why they have the fucking self scan.
I'm
Exactly.
always more infuriated by the customer than I
If you
am
have a fucking
the
issue
worker.
with dealing with somebody working in retail, go to the self scan.
Because-
Don't associate with.
Because the worker might be dealing with like the system not working, where the customer is dealing with their brain not accepting that.
Okay, like
I love how the gifts haven't changed this entire conversation. but go
Well, we went from Lizzo to fucking Karen Central.
on.
like cash registers and things like that, computer systems, I understand that stuff malfunctions, but when you're fucking hurling people's shit around, that's a different story.
What is
Agreed,
it
Karen.
though? What is it? What is it? What are they hurling? Can it be hurled?
It's in a box that they don't know what it is.
If it's in a box, can it not be hurled?
Well, usually the box is like, do not
Ordered it off
do
of
not hurl
Walmart.
Do
me.
not prick me, do I not bleed?
No, basement. Our FedEx does not fucking label shit. Like something that should be labeled fragile is not fucking labeled fragile. So they're hurling.
That's not from FedEx. That's from the company you're ordering from. So you need to be mad at them.
Pronounced
So
A, it's pronounced fragile.
you're hurling shit around, and for all you know, that could be my fucking grandpa's ashes in there. Like
Oh,
what?
no, it's a fucking remix.
Whatever. I don't give a flying fuck. Like fuck those people. Like if you can't take the fucking time to that is somebody else's property. Like that is somebody else's stuff, and you're throwing it around.
Remix.
I mean, being in direct sales, that's my issue too. Yes, sometimes I will have. I had somebody leave a delivery outside of our fence where I had no idea they even showed up because I was in the bathroom when the truck pulled up. So that thing could have been very easily stolen because it was just a giant package sitting outside of our fence for the entire fucking world to see.
They do that
I
here,
think
too.
I
Like,
think
they won't even knock on the door or anything. They just fucking leave it at the door.
I think
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you the reason that is because they're not allowed to enter your fence.
Then why is it every other package we've gotten has been either right behind our fence or on our
It's
front
company
porch?
policy.
Obi.
I
Actually,
think
it's not
the
because they can enter the fence. They just can't enter your house. So they're technically supposed to leave it either in your driveway or on your front porch.
No.
I think the problem with a lot of people is what they think is incompetence is
Not FedEx, it's UPS.
not necessarily
Sure.
like
That comes FedEx and one of the
the
boxes.
delivery
from
man. I mean, if they're hurling shit at your door, then they're terrible at your job. But hey, this could be somebody that just works 60. Could be somebody who worked 16 hours and was approved of it, and then just like fuck it, I'm done. Take this. Take your
Can't just
grandpa's
say-
ashes, and he just
Now
tosses
you're
them.
generalizing.
So I'm going to take this conversation in a completely different left turn
Thank
because
the
it's actually,
Lord.
because I actually there's something I wanted to I meant to write this down before we popped on here.
So I'm not gonna have
It's something
something
that
to
I'm
show
curious
for this, right?
if you got what's that? Oh yeah, for sure. I got something to show. So have you guys heard about these AI image generating AIs where
Yeah,
you put in
we-
a description?
But didn't we talk about this last week?
So there.
Did we? I can't remember.
I feel like we did.
AI generated rapper? Yeah, we did.
No,
Yes.
the
No,
AI
the
generated
rapper, right.
like art. We
Yes,
did talk
but-
about
well,
it.
I don't. Well, in any case, so I found it and I decided to literally while you guys were talking, I was like, oh, I remember the site. So I typed in the phrase "bear waving Canadian flag."
No, God.
Do you
my God.
want to see what the results
Yes.
are?
Is it gonna be
Yeah.
a terrible monster?
Oh, there's a few because it gets me like 9 images results. And here's the first one. Once it actually wants to share my screen, there we go.
Let me just.
I
I gotta
You?
fix
It's
this.
Sorry.
like a fucking deformed bear.
It looks like a teddy bear that's been loved by a child for a very
Looks
long
like
time.
basement.
It looks like a
Why?
teddy bear that fucking Gina's dog fucks. That's all.
No,
Why?
you know what it looks like? Basement. Listen, do you know what it looks like? It literally looks like your fucking bear mask after Gizmo got a hold of it that time.
That's it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
What I don't get is why couldn't they get the flag right at least?
There's more. There's so many more here. Like there's this one.
Oh, that's hot.
Oh my god! What is? Does it have?
What's wrong with
tits
him?
for a
What
nose?
is it a blowjob mouth?
Yeah.
Does it have tits for a nose? What? What
There's this
the-
one.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's actually the best so far.
It looks like a monkey.
Yeah.
There's more. All right. There's this one.
Oh, that one's
Not
actually
bad.
better than the last one.
Yeah, that's not bad.
We got that's one of my favorites.
That might be the best. Also,
Wait, are
one
these
eye is like
children that drew this?
stroking.
No, this is an AI program.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Okay.
I like
Was
this
the
one because
AI
was the AI set to children? Oh look, he looks like a strong man bear.
I feel like he's about to throw the flag.
I feel like he's about ready to punch a Canadian in the face.
That's disgusting. What is that?
this one's got a third. This one's got a unibrow, a third arm.
And a fucking.
Does he have a
That's
pacifier in his mouth?
that's close to your Horny Goat wrestling character with the flag for the cape.
The red foot.
Yep.
Apparently, we're making Federico laugh really hard because he says his ribs hurt.
Like most of
That's
them.
probably the most.
Yeah, that's actually the first answer. What should have been.
That
So
actually
what-
looks like a bear.
So, what do you think I should put in for a phrase for this thing to look up?
Do something for all of us.
All right.
Type in horny goat.
I like how his like one of his paws has like a crocheted hand.
Yes.
It's fucking beautiful.
all right, let's
Look
see
at
what.
Look at that.
Look, my child at 5 years old could have did better than this AI program. Like,
Well, first,
Well, what happens is the AI program takes I think it's something like 800,000 images that are submitted, and then it blends it together based upon the specific.
okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, so it blends it together based upon what it has under its catalog. So but it is intriguing how sometimes it gets it really close and really accurate sometimes. But let's see what it does for Horny Goat.
Jurgen says, I've seen some ugly looking things before, but this takes the cake.
That bear was pretty fucking nasty.
hey guys, most of those were pretty good.
Most
So what are we waiting for?
I don't know.
Horny Goat.
The AI is there we go. Well, what?
It looks like a goat.
With extra horns.
That has two
See?
horns.
It has two horns.
It has
But
two.
they're different horns. That one's got 3.
Oh,
Well, it's
God.
got one random gigantic
It looks
horn.
like Abraham Lincoln, like an old Abraham Lincoln.
That one looks
No,
normal.
it's got a fucking no. What the fuck is?
That has
It's
deer
got a
ears.
pork chop for an ear.
Oh God, it's demon goat.
No, it's a unicorn goat because it's got the horn in the middle of its head.
Why is
Oh.
it? Why is its ear so meaty?
I don't
Is
know.
it sad that Is it sad that I still want all of these goats?
I don't.
Yes.
I would not want to own.
I want a goat farm.
How about that one?
I
Yeah,
love
you can have
goats.
this one. His name is Sammy.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
He's got.
Even with the extra ear on his neck.
He looks retarded.
Yeah, exactly. He's got
That's
extra
okay.
Down
He
syndrome.
He looks like he would like run like
What about this
Gallop
one?
and
all
ride.
the time,
He's
like
got
slow motion gallop.
no eyes
high as shit.
open.
He looks high as shit. That one looks like he ate.
It's got a
Rizzo.
fucking horn
It's
coming
got
out of his
horn on
ass.
and
really-
double
The
knees.
horn.
He's got fucking double knees.
Yeah,
right.
he's got
And
what?
missing a leg.
He's got two
What else?
knees,
What else can I put
just
in
like
here?
my currency.
Yeah. What
He
else?
says, he says he's doing blackface.
There, half of them are.
Oh my
Give
God.
me a specific. Give me something specific, as you get as
Okay.
specific as possible.
Let's say tattoo on a midget, but
Let's
we
do-
all know that wouldn't work.
Whoa! What was Heather's?
A tattoo on a midget.
Oh, that could just be a midget with a tattoo.
I think it would be too. Oh my God.
I did tattoo on a midget's ass.
I got one.
I said butt.
Is there going to be penis?
Oh, well, we can do penis.
No. I mean,
No.
because we can't put penis on the street.
Why?
Not on the stream.
The one time that we did.
I'm gonna put penis on you if you don't stop talking.
Oh,
Downloaded the results.
Yeah,
Would
no,
it
it takes a while.
An hour and a half.
yeah, it does take a minute. I mean, again, over 800,000 images of a tattoo on a midget's butt. This is gonna be interesting to see what it brings up. I feel like we're gonna see some Silent Hill shit where there's a man with no face.
Yeah, it's gonna be monstrous for sure.
Yeah.
But how monstrous can we
Remind
get?
JP of the bar. It's gonna bring him
Mhm.
back to the
One of
bar
those-
images.
It's gonna be a bunch of butt babies.
Angry midgets.
There we go. All right.
Yeah,
let's
are
see
you
here.
happy with that child's
Yeah.
ass? Do you like it? You gross
is
motherfuckers.
Oh God!
It looks like tire tracks.
Why is there an extra butt cheek? Like,
Why does it look
deep
like somebody's
inside.
just... Oh God!
That's a watermelon.
Oh
What the hell is this?
Oh my God! It's really bad. Is
Oh,
what
I
it
don't
is.
like
okay.
that. What is
Oh
that?
God! What is that?
I don't like
Belly button, I
that.
think.
No, that's not. That's nothing.
No, I
That's-
don't. I don't
What
like
is?
any
What
of
is
them.
with the?
Why
Yeah.
is the tire tracks?
Why does she have her pants off and on?
I don't know.
Why are none of them midgets?
I don't know.
Why are none of them midgets?
Okay, what was the other one? Penis?
I was gonna go with Karen
Heist
Gina.
says- What? Heist says the minions booty.
That's
Pretty much.
How about
can we
high
move the
Karens?
kid's ass off of the fucking screen?
Yeah.
please?
How about what?
Hi, Karens.
Why the fuck are we?
Hi,
doing
Karens.
Yes.
What about Gina?
Yeah,
Karen?
like hi, like I. Well, don't fuck you, basement.
Well,
I'm going to drive to Canada and I'm going to smack you fucking silly.
sounds like
After
what
she
a Karen
talks-
would do.
After she talks to the manager of Canada.
Yes.
Let me
But
talk
you're
to your
talking
prime
to-
minister.
Now see
I
here.
have never once asked to talk to a manager. Well, I take that back. I did on a phone.
We
but
know,
that was
we
when I
know.
was first-
We
I
know.
feel like I hired.
No.
We know.
I did on the phone one time, and that's because the person that I was talking to did not
One
understand what I
time.
was trying to say.
Karen.
Because I was
in
trying
disguise.
to sort out a bill, and they did
You.
not understand what I was asking. So I said, "Well, is there somebody else I could talk to?" And they were the ones that said, "I will let me get my manager for you."
Mhm.
Let me
And
speak
very
to
nice.
you.
Like I don't know what the fuck you people are talking about.
Because
You
you're a Karen.
people?
Of course they're gonna be nice to you.
I'm not a Karen. Ugh,
You're a Kareen.
I'm not a Korean either.
Whoa.
Oh,
okay.
my God.
Some of these are monster food.
That
Oh,
third
These
one.
are-
That third
God.
one.
Oh God, a lot of these are monstrous. What the fuck
Oh,
is
my
that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet Jesus.
Oh wait, that
right
one's hanging
there.
tit.
Oh my God.
God, that looks like Steve Buscemi. Hey,
Oh,
it's
that one.
Planet of the Apes.
That's
my
Beast
God.
from Beauty and the Beast. Like, what the
Or
fuck?
Jumanji when the kid turns into the ape.
that one's nightmare fucking material.
Uh-huh.
Oh
No,
no,
that one is.
that one's bad.
That's nightmare material.
That is
All right.
bad,
One
baby.
final suggestion before we move on.
Ugh. Gonna
Let's
haunt
just
my fucking
do
nightmare.
big, fat, sexy.
Well, this is not gonna end well.
Not with the word sexy added in.
This is not gonna. We're gonna get penis or
Uh,
vagina.
You never
Tits,
know.
Something's gonna come up on that screen. Oi.
Most
the
of
only
most of
benefit-
those were hideous. Like I don't know
They
what
were.
was going on there. It was-
Ruth says do basement next.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. I'm about to.
He
go
wants to see the
bed.
big fat sexy.
Yeah, he does. He's waiting for it.
I am gonna see the big fat sexy, and then I'm gonna go to
BFS,
He wants to see it.
BFS, BFS. One of us. One of
Yeah.
us.
You know what? That explains why people call me BFS at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Big
There's a lot more stuff
fucking
there.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Some of these are pretty good.
I think that person actually has.
I mean, there's an obvious winner here.
Top
And I'm
middle?
seeing it. No, left middle. Left middle's. She's got ham around her breasts. Ooh, that one's cancerous. I think. Look
Trying to-
at that hand.
It's happening
Look
right
at that
now.
hand. Oh my god, that's. Well, she's eating her hand.
She have a
This
lobster
right
head?
here.
That
is
one
where
has a
it's at.
lobster head.
She doesn't even have fingers.
She's
Can I
got a
just
fucking
say-
lobster
I'm
hand.
just gonna say this. She looks like a fucking muppet.
Why does she have a pig face?
Well,
Oh
why is
my
she
God.
also? Why is okay? She's got an 8-pack.
Aaron in all capital letters says, "Oh, good God."
Hey, it's the Michelin Man.
Oh my God.
Why are some of them in costumes? I mean,
Country
Close.
close my eyes.
some of them. One of them has a dick. The bottom middle.
Listen. I don't understand what is happening here.
What?
I love this thing.
You know, they're all women too. This app is sexy. The AI is sexy. The AI is sexist.
You said the
Jurgen
AI
says,
section.
"Oh my God, stop the pain! Stop the pain!" And
All right,
it's
all right.
too much to look at.
The bottom middle is where it's at, though. Look at that.
That
bulge.
the penis,
Yeah.
penis.
Look at
Yeah.
that. And the face, you know, it's like Mother Teresa, but they won't show you.
Yeah, they're infusion body parts. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
what I said, and it's obvious they're
Okay.
infused together. But
That's some good
Can't
shit
do
that
right
anymore.
there, is all I'm gonna say. That was excellent.
Cool.
sweet baby Jesus, that was what nightmares are made of, right
Good
there.
luck sleeping.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Connor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's what alcohol's for.
Heist says they look like Play-Doh.
Well, they
I
are
like-
Play-Doh.
I like to play with their dough. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my.
We have
God.
a few more articles we can talk about, but I know it's also getting late, so it's up to you guys. I don't even want to keep on trucking.
I mean, the only one maybe is the woman that starved her child.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
This is the
Connor's
article that
practical.
scares the shit out of me with vegan people.
So this one is a Florida woman was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison after the 2019 death of her 18-month-old child who died from severe malnutrition and dehydration because her and her husband told investigators their family only ate raw fruits and vegetables, and the child was also breastfed. But the couple told investigators that the child hadn't eaten for a week before his death.
How can you call yourself a mother and do that to your child at the same time?
I think the headline is misleading because there's a difference between vegan and starvation.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna end it with this. She identifies as vegan, so she's not going to jail. Because why the fuck not? You can identify as
she'll go to
fucking
jail.
pedophile and not go to jail. That's
No,
what everybody.
I identify as free.
Going to bed.
She
So
will
therefore
still
I can't go to jail.
because she can identify as vegan all she wants, but that still doesn't give her any right to starve her child, because being vegan, like Heather said, vegan and starvation are two separate things. So she's
Disagree.
That's
identifying
what I said.
she's identified as a vegan,
Yeah, I
but
don't disagree. But
yeah, vegans don't starve. So
I identify as free.
I also want to know, even if they were eating a vegan lifestyle, she said that the child also breastfed, but then she says that the child didn't eat for a week. So why was the
Why are
child
you not
not
bringing it to the doctor to find out why it's not eating?
Also,
or
I
why are
don't
you
think.
not breastfeeding for the whole week?
Well, first
Like-
of all, like somebody that hasn't eaten in a week would not die. They'd be super malnourished, but they wouldn't die. This just means that she was not feeding that kid beforehand
On a regular
anyways.
basis, right?
But it's also the fact that it was an 18-month-old child, not an adult. There's the difference.
Right.
I mean,
You know,
when-
that
when
child
did we
doesn't have any choice. You know, like when
Children's metabolisms are a lot faster than adults.
When is
Well,
it
not only
acceptable
that,
to
but-
talk about people in years and months instead of just months?
as soon as my child turned a year old, they were a year.
Same.
Yep.
Same.
Yep.
If I'm going to talk
Um,
to somebody and be like, my son is 34 and a half months old, they'll be like,
She
I
would be.
can't do that kind of math. You want to fill me in on how old your child actually fucking is?
like, come on, man.
Um,
You know, I'm 74 days into spring. Who the fuck says that? You
know
fucking
what, though,
dick.
like, with this, it's so fucking sad because it's blatantly obvious that this kid was being starved.
Good.
And
And the other children that are in that house are also severely malnourished.
well, and you know that the thing is because okay, I just had blood work done not too long ago, right? And they said that I'm malnourished, right? Because I'm lacking a bunch of vitamins and all that stuff. My diet is not proper.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna be a vegan
Mm-hmm.
or
Sorry, I don't know
vegetarian
why I'm
or
moving constantly.
anything like that, if you were gonna have any kind of special diet, you need to actually
supplement
research.
the missing
Yes.
ingredients.
And you need to do your research, and you need to figure out if you want to be a vegan, go and see a dietitian so that you can find, especially if you're going to put your fucking children on the same fucking thing, because there is no way in hell that, okay, so like I considered malnourished because I'm lacking all these vitamins, but my kids just had their blood work done. They're not. You know why? Because I make sure that my kids get everything that they fucking need. Milk, juice, fucking vegetables, fruit, you name it. I make sure that they have everything that they're going to need so that they are not suffering with the same medical conditions that I do. It's my fault that I don't eat those same foods. You know what I mean? But that's my choice because I'm an adult. It's a stupid fucking choice. Nonetheless,
Did you say
I'm
you
an
just
adult.
ate dinner and that's it?
Yeah,
That's all I do. I only eat dinner.
that's all I do.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? You only
I'm
eat
not
dinner?
hungry. I'm not hungry.
I'm not
before
hungry
that.
at morning or lunch.
Yeah, I'm not hungry at morning or lunch either. So like, I only eat dinner. But like,
But do
I
you
had to
eat like
change that.
second dinner?
No?
Sometimes I don't really eat second dinner. I have like light snacks. Like after dinner, I'll eat like light snacks up until a certain time. But I had to change my way of eating because I did get malnourished from that, and I am lacking a bunch of vitamins and minerals and all this stuff. So because of that, now I have to not only eat more healthy, but I have to eat more
Often.
often. Yes, exactly. Like smaller meals more often throughout the day, and it has to be a bunch of different stuff. But back to what I was saying, as a mother or a father for that matter, it is our jobs to make sure that our children are getting everything that they fucking need in order to keep them healthy. If you are not doing so, that is fucking neglect. That is child abuse.
Well, I mean,
If you want your children to be on a vegan diet, all good and well. However, you need to find the things that cutting out that meat, cutting out that cheese, you need to find ways to supplement that within the vegan diet so that they don't end up malnourished. Like, if you want to cut out meat,
Exactly.
add in fucking iron, especially red meat. Add in iron-rich fruits and vegetables. I mean, you got
Yeah,
spinach
we
out
just-
there. You got fucking other things.
So
There's so many other things out there.
We just had to go through this with Austin because he has the beef intolerance. So not only do I give him, spinach and things like that have a little bit more iron and vitamins in them, but he also takes an iron supplement just to make sure, because he was already anemic once before. So I want to make sure that he doesn't become anemic again. So he's taking that. That's being a responsible parent, making sure that your child is healthy.
here's my question. Say you yourself are a vegan. If I myself am vegan, whatever the reasons are, I will give my child the chance to try everything.
Yes.
And eventually get to the point, if they want to make a life decision later on, that's fine. But I do not think just deciding to be like, you ain't gonna eat this, you ain't gonna eat that, you need to, like, what? I just don't.
Yeah.
Like,
but this is the problem with the entire vegan culture, though, because I literally watched the food truck competitions on Food Network. They had an all vegan truck, and one of the challenges on the competition was to go in and get freshly butchered meat for your truck. These 3 fucking pussy ass girls walked into that slaughterhouse. They just got in the fucking front door. And they're, oh my god, the smell of meat, I'm gonna puke, oh my god, and had to run out of there and make another decision. This is the problem with the vegan culture. Every vegan I've ever known, that's exactly how they fucking act.
I mean, you could be against, like, slaughtering animals for food, but once they're already slaughtered for food, you being against it ain't gonna change the fact that it already happened.
Okay, here's the thing, okay? When you're pushing a certain diet on, you guys know.
But it's your belief, not your kids. You're 2 different people.
So you guys know that, like, Austin recently got put on the diet changes with gluten-free and the meat and the beef intolerance. So for dinner, a lot of times we eat gluten-free dinners now because that's just, it's easier for me to make.
He can tolerate for his system.
Well, and it's easier for me to make that meal for all three of us versus, you know, having to make something separate for Bella and I and then for Austin. However, once or twice a week, I will make something with beef for Bella and I, and then Austin will have like gluten-free spaghetti or something simple like that, because I know as a parent that yes, while my child can't tolerate gluten and he can't tolerate beef, the other child still needs those nutrients, you know. So I'm gonna make sure that she's getting that too. And even though she still eats red meat and stuff, like 1 to 2 days a week, she takes an iron supplement too, just to make sure that none of us are low on iron.
Every day a week, I'm red meat deep.
I can't without a gallbladder. I cut back on the red meat because otherwise I end up in so much pain.
To be
Well,
honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of first of all, I'm not a fan of pork. Red meat, very seldomly. Chicken's my shit.
I
Can't
love
eat fish.
chicken. I actually do. I love chicken. I love pork, and I love turkey.
yeah,
Pork just hurts my stomach half the time. I don't know what it is.
I'll take everything.
That's what we've been eating. Like
Dick?
the majority of our diet is turkey, chicken, and pork.
Especially. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, it's time to go to bed. I can see it in his eyes.
It is.
This show has gone long enough, I think.
Yeah, we're late as shit. Yeah, I don't agree with starving your kid for any reason.
No.
Oh,
and
absolutely
also,
not.
one of the main storylines we never fucking talked about, Connor. I don't want to bring it up now because it's 2:58 a.m.
What is it?
It's the fucking power shit in California.
Oh yeah.
What is the power shit in California?
It's me when I go to California and take a shit.
I'm literally typing into Google power shit in California.
No, it's the idea that they came out and said we want by 2035 everybody have electric vehicles, and then literally weeks later they came out and said nobody used their
electricity.
Yeah, we have to. You're going to be going through cycled brownouts so that we can conserve energy because our grid can't handle it.
And the same thing happens here. Brownouts happen all the fucking time in the summer because everybody's running AC.
Yeah.
So how do you have this plan to go completely electric, yet you can't even handle your electricity of the day?
Switching from one resource to the another does not absolve all solutions.
Right, because
you're trading one problem. I was just gonna say, like, you know, people are like, oh, you're switching from diesel or gas to electric or a hybrid. It's like, oh, it's gonna absolve of this problem. Well, it might absolve that problem, but it's gonna create a
It's going to cause
future
and utter crash of all the other infrastructure.
Because electric isn't just like non-polluting.
Right.
The vehicles might be, but like everything that goes towards making it happen.
Making electricity, right. But you know,
and then on top of that, on top of you having to be cycled through brownouts and all of that, you better have $30,000 saved up to change your car battery when that dies.
No, if they're gonna force a change, they better pay for it. Sorry.
Okay, so this is the problem with the whole climate change issue as a whole, because we all know that climate change is happening. We all know that it is an issue, and it's an issue that we need to somehow resolve. However, with every single aspect that is a problem with climate change, whether it be energy or hazardous waste, anything like that, there is no, and please, for the love of God, stay away from the fucking spaceship this time. There is no fucking solution. There's no one solution. There's no one solution that will solve the climate change.
There is a solution. Kill your neighbor.
Well, I mean, I guess the
first solution out there. However, that solution needs to be followed by every single person on the planet, not just one country. The entire.
Well, I mean, the problem is like the narrative of fixing climate issues is all of the individuals that live a regular life need to do this and this and that. Like, bitch.
Well,
You're
that
talking about
and a
fixing
lot
the 18% of offenders and not the
Mhm.
rest.
Well, and that and a lot of the issues or the solutions, I should say, that they have come up with for certain aspects of climate change, the regular Joe Schmo can't fucking afford that shit. Like Heather just said, the batteries
It's
alone for electric vehicles are $30,000. Not to
so
mention that the electric vehicle itself is going to be anywhere between what 50 to 80,000,
so
depending on what kind of vehicle you want. Right.
if 2035 hits here in Canada, because that's the plan, and I have to get an
In
electric
California.
vehicle to get around, and I look over at the Walmart and they have their fucking lights on 24/7, or any other big business that has their lights on 24/7, I
Mhm.
am probably going to start killing politicians.
Well, I don't know if your Walmart does this, but like our Walmart, the ones that are open 24 hours a day up here, they shut at least half of their lights off.
I
No,
get like
I get
Like they dim them down, and then they'll have like every other light on.
I get a
No,
box
yeah.
a box retailer keeping their lights on because they're actually working 24/7.
Mhm.
But there's so many businesses here that have lights on into the
Menards
entire
does that here.
fucking building, and nothing's happening.
I can tell
Yeah,
you between here and between Wisconsin itself and New York, driving through, even if the business is not even open, especially car dealerships, the parking lot lights will always all be on.
Because they're selling their product
so, like-
24/7, even if they're not there.
Well,
Yes.
here's the thing. Okay, so like Heather, you might know what I'm talking about because now that you're in the Midwest, I don't think Connor or Basement are going to know so much because I don't think that they have Menards over there. But if my boyfriend's out there listening, then he's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Menards leaves their fucking lights on, like where their chandeliers and stuff are. Those lights are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether they are open or not.
Connor should know because Lowe's and Home Depot does the same thing.
Yeah, so
You
like,
do.
why
No,
do you
I
leave
got
fucking
Home Depot here,
fixtures
and I got
on?
Lowe's here, so I know the same.
Like,
Not
why
the
do you
same.
leave your like? Why is it necessary to
Same,
leave the
goddamn
fucking
it.
light fixtures on? Like, what? Why?
This is what I'm saying. It's like they're gonna fucking point the finger at the common folk. Meanwhile, you've got fucking factories in Thailand spewing out shit that operate
Well,
Mhm.
24/7.
That was the other point I was going to bring up. It's not even the U.S. that is the leaders in the pollution that is.
Well,
Canada is
climate
very
change.
small.
It's not. It's
Well,
actually
US is
China.
actually pretty. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And China and India are
yeah.
big polluters.
But okay, so like you take. Look at farmers, for instance. Farmers, cows put off an incredible amount of fucking carbon dioxide
it's
into the
nothing
atmosphere.
in
What are you gonna
comparison.
fucking? Right, but look, actually, if you actually look
You
it up,
listen to
it's
AOC.
actually a lot.
She must
But
pack up all the cows and send them off the fucking
yeah,
planet.
but like, there's no fucking solution. Like, it's a fucking cow. Okay.
Well, I mean, this is why a lot of people are like, climate change is going
And
to
it's not carbon
happen.
dioxide. It's
Well, I mean, climate change is going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. It's change. The world is changing constantly, and if you don't believe that, then you're a fucking retard. In all honesty, because the like time and history will tell us the world changes.
Well, the world changes. It's changing at a faster rate right now because of climate change, because of the issues that are driving it to change faster. But the problem is, and that I am a huge fucking. You guys know how I feel about climate change and talking about all that stuff. But I'm also not one to sit there and be like, well, we need to make it happen right now, because I know that there's no possible solutions to make it happen right now.
Well, there's a
There's
difference
not.
between like attempting to fix the problem and yelling at people because a problem exists. And this is why I fucking hate Greta Thunberg. That's why I hate her, because she just yells at people. I'm like, okay, you're an angry kid that climate change
But
exists.
until
I could also be that.
She's really expecting fucking elementary kids to sit in a fucking hot school building without air conditioning to help climate change. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I'm pretty
Well, you
sure
know,
with the
until-
amount of money that she's made as a child, she lives in the lap of luxury.
Yeah,
know what?
exactly. All these
Nowadays-
fucking
Yeah.
celebrities
She-
as well that are preaching for go green.
Oh
Yeah,
my
stop
God.
buying your private jet for 5 fucking minutes.
Taylor
first.
Swift
And
made
how-
150 private jet flights in like half a year.
The fact of the matter
Leonardo
is-
DiCaprio is number one, but he's got a yacht and a private jet and only
who the hell
fucks
is it?
kids.
Kylie Jenner just got in trouble for that not too long ago. She took a fucking flight to the fucking local
Yeah, but
Target.
I can almost tell you that bitch would be at like the front rally of like save the planet. Like this is what I
And
like.
you know that, but you know what the fact of the matter is, until there are actual plausible solutions,
There are plausible things to help. It's just
there are things to help, but there are no
don't make them.
solutions.
Okay, the thing is, capitalism will never help fixing a problem that isn't for self gain.
Mm-hmm.
And people won't move away from capitalism because the other options are relatively terrible.
Mhm.
And like, imagine telling this world to abandon like finance. They'd be like, "Well, how do I think of where I stand in the world? Who gives a fuck where you stand? You're the same as your neighbor and everybody else."
Yeah,
But they won't do it. People won't do it until it's their end.
I could, from living in 2 different states, I could tell you exactly the mindset here. Here in Wisconsin, by law, you have to recycle your plastics, your canned goods, your cardboard, all of that. You have to. You have your own recycle bin that is provided by the company that picks up your garbage. You have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
New York? Oh yeah, if you want to bring your cans into the supermarket and put them in the can bin and get money back for it, fine, go ahead. Otherwise, we don't fucking give a shit.
I mean, here you have to adhere to recycling is recycling, garbage is garbage, organics are organics. But I think capitalism is great for people, terrible for the world.
Okay, so okay, there is a plausible solution as far as like with big cities, as far as like being able to absorb not all but some of like the methane and other gases that are being expelled into the air, and it also helps with heat island effect. I think New York might have started implementing this in some places, but you know, you have gardens on top of your skyscrapers, have gardens on there, you have walls that are like the moss or the grass, you know, that so that they can help absorb some of the heat and also absorb some of the carbon dioxide that's in the air and all of the other like gases that are in the air, and kind of helps recycle, you know, fresh oxygen into the air. A lot of bigger cities are starting to implement that, but until you have almost every single building in a large city that is covered almost in all green, it's not even gonna put a little dent into the chemicals that are being released on a daily basis in those big cities.
It won't work in the world we created. I can tell you that right away, because even the ceilings of half these fucking buildings, especially if they're like super expensive high rises that people live in, there's fucking pools and shit on the top of them, and they're like, I don't want no garden for tomatoes.
Yeah, but I mean, we even like around here, I mean, we don't have a heat island effect, right? We're fucking surrounded by grass and fields. You know, we have plenty of shit. But even we were like, because our buildings get so hot in the summer. So even we mentioned it to like our landlord. We're like, why don't you let us, you know, put like a grass wall or something over here where the sun is the hottest, you know, on this side of these buildings during the summer, so that it'll help absorb a little bit of that heat.
The thing is,
And
we can't.
it was talked about and then it never got done. But
I'm going to tell you why, Gina. You are in government funded apartment systems, and putting that up is going to require double the maintenance.
We can't.
Yeah.
Fix.
Well, we don't even get maintenance right now the way it is. So
exactly, but it's still going to cost double on the maintenance bill, and they're not going to go for it.
We can't fix the world when we're so self-absorbed. It's just never going to happen.
And that's
and the only way to even try to do it would have to be to change mankind. And good luck with that.
And it doesn't really help the fact that they have the discovery of these forever chemicals in everything now. So it's like, okay, we're going to be fucked anyway, so stop trying.
I mean, you look at Roundup right now, like everybody uses fucking Roundup for kill weeds. I mean, I breathe Roundup in on a daily basis because Heather, my apartment's surrounded by fucking fields, and the farmers around here, they use Roundup to take care of the fucking bugs. So I'm like constantly, I've been ingesting this shit in my system since I was a little kid, but now here to come to find out, Roundup they just like, they're either in the middle or they just settled a big ass fucking lawsuit because the chemicals in Roundup were causing cancer.
Well, it's a pesticide. Of course, it's
Can't
going
say
to
I'm
cause
surprised, yeah.
cancer.
Yeah, no, but like, it wasn't just because it was there was like it was they were using some kind of a illegal substance in it. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but whatever it was.
If that was the case, then they would have pulled all of them off of the shelf.
They
And I
did.
can tell you, we went
No,
to our Walmart. Gina, we went to our Walmart looking for garden stuff. There was Roundup on the shelf.
If you would let me finish, then they did pull all of the ones
Roundup.
before a certain date. They pulled all of those off the shelf and replaced them with the new Roundup that doesn't include that chemical in them. So the Roundup is still being sold. It's just without that chemical.
Why wasn't it talked about
Roots,
more?
with that point, with the shipping shortages, there were a lot of people that weren't eating anyway. So
The world's fucked. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed that last positive message as we wrap up this edition of No Bucks Given right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel and the Horny Goat Podcast Network. Of course, you can listen to us on your favorite platforms like Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Apple, Google, and so many others. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check us out check out all the other stuff we did this past week. We did quite a lot, actually. This was a loaded week as far as content on the YouTube channel. We did, of course, the Marvel Roundup with the Marvel Roundtable with Black Widow. We did the night where we played Monopoly and got so hammered that most of us don't remember that we also played Uno right after that. Horny Goat General Manager Mode was also fun. Me and Basement got a chance to check out Trover Saves the Universe. That actually was a really, really, really interesting game. And then
I still need to go back and watch that. It sounded like you guys had fun.
Very interesting. I was cracking up the whole fucking time. And then, of course, tomorrow, myself and Gina will be on Derailed for the podcast Bedlam. So make sure you guys check us out over there too.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as regular content here on the channel, we'll be back on Monday, good old Labor Day, to talk once again on the Marvel Roundtable, one of my personal favorite movies of the new wave of Marvel movies, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Yeah, it's good. I'm already halfway through, and
Is
it's
it
like, yep.
Shang or Shang? Because it's spelled
I think it's
Shang.
Shang-Chi. It's spelled Shang, but it's pronounced Shang.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I call it Shang-Chi.
Whatever, he's Canadian.
Well, you're
He's
clearly
hot, is what he is.
well
Sorry, honey.
cultured. What?
Nothing.
She has a lady boner for him.
Well, I'd let him count my
He's a-
12 rings,
He's a
9
very
rings,
pretty
however
person,
many rings
okay?
there are.
She wants to taste the duck sauce. Thank you all for tuning in to this
my
edition
God,
of the
no.
No Bucks Given, and we'll see you guys in the future. Until then, take it easy. You're right there, Heather. You're good. You're good. Fine. It's all good.
I'm not